Hey and hello there everyone, my microphone's facing the wrong direction. Hi, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I totally wasn't watching Wolfie Glick's new video about the best water type Pokemon ever, and that's why I wanted to wait a minute until everything was done. So hi, how are you doing? Hopefully we're live, hopefully you can see me and you can hear the clickety clack of the switch. Clickety clickety clack. But how are you doing? So let's say hi to some people quickly. Yes. So hi Kevin and Lexi and Nightbot and Lovecat Mew Mew and Zach and Tenchi and Kramin. I like Kramin. And I hope you like Kramin too. And I think that's actually all the people who've said hi so far, because we've started kind of quickly and stuff today. Oh, hang on, what's going on with Lexi? Hang on, where's that? Hang on, Lexi. I started a new job this week. Yay! Okay, brilliant, awesome. I love to hear that. I'm just gonna, hang on, where did I put, I'm just gonna check for one thing. Hold on one second. I hate when you sort of wonder if you're ready or if you've got everything and you're not quite sure and you feel like maybe you're missing something. And I had one thing I knew I was missing when I hit live, but now I'm like, do I have others? I don't know. So yeah, okay. I hope you guys have all had a good week. I actually kind of realized, we'll get into the stream in a second, or right now even. But look, hang on, look, Xenoblade isn't even on my top list of games now. There's like Sword, Violet, Home, Smash Bros, because they just keep adding spirits, and now Pokemon Scarlet. So Christmas is truly behind us. Xander, hi, lovely to see you. I have no idea what I was saying or where I was going with any of this. Oh no, I got too waffly. We're like 2 minutes into the thing, and I got too waffly. Hang on, why is this not? Oh, maybe I need to do that, and then that works, and then that's good. Okay. What is it? Christmas is truly behind us. Oh, I was gonna say, it's funny. I think I do need to figure out some other game to play soon, because we are kind of running out of shiny Pokemon to hunt. I had a big Excel spreadsheet of shinies that I needed in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and my Excel spreadsheet, right, I even split it into different tabs, because there were so many Pokemon, I needed different tabs. There were Pokemon in the base game, in the sort of base Paldea region. So I will just look around and check the outbreaks. So like, ooh, there's Gabite, but like I have Gabite. You're gonna see me say like, ooh, Magnemite, but I have Magnemite. Ooh, Dugtrio, but I have Dugtrio. We need a Alolan Dugtrio, but I have Dugtrio. I was like, ooh, like Houndstone, but I have Houndstone. Ooh, Pineco, but I have Pineco. Ooh, Mimikyu, but I have Mimikyu. Notice a pattern here? So yeah, I now have, ooh, Dragalge, but I have Dragalge. So it's like I have most of the shinies now, and in terms of some of the ones we have left are not very good to hunt for on a stream, or they're hard to hunt for on a stream. And so yeah, it's kind of like we probably only have like maybe, I don't know, say this week and next week, or this week, next week, and the week after. Look at that low frame rate person in the background. I'm just going to do one other thing quickly. Hold on. Okay. The heating's on, but it feels very warm, and it feels like it's been on for a long time, and I don't know. Anyway, Bark. So, but that's the thing. I had a spreadsheet, and I had different tabs. I had a tab for Paldea, I had a tab for Kitakami, and I had a tab for the Blueberry Academy, or for the Terranium. And like, I've sort of whittled it down so much that I actually just like copied and pasted and did a bunch of combining, and I've basically deleted 2 of the tabs, and I've combined all 3 tabs into just one Excel spreadsheet now, because I just have so few Pokemon left now that there's just not really any need to have the different tabs. It's kind of wasteful not having everything be all on one spreadsheet, just on one tab. So look, Yanma, I've got Yanma and Yanmega. I've got Sentret and Furret. I feel like Kitakami has fewer shiny outbreaks now. I swear it always used to have like 3 or 4, but now there are some days where I only have 2. But then also Swinub, but I've got Swinub. And Piloswine and Mamoswine. I've got them all. I've got all of them. So, and then what do we have here in the Terranium? There's Dodrio, but I have Dodrio. There's Pyro, but you guys know I've got Pyro. I got Pyro on stream. Crocodile or Crocorock and Crocodile and Sandile. I've got all them. Like it's seriously like Beartic, which I have. So yeah, so I have all these. I have all of these, and it's kind of crazy. So, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, it's wild. So yeah, there aren't many shinies that I have left that are, sort of good shiny hunts, for streaming. I don't have many left in general, and I have fewer that are good for streaming. So, yeah, so I will need to, maybe we'll finally do that Luigi's Mansion 3 playthrough. It is hard because of the situation with the strike, because on the one hand, it is still possible that we could have a strike at, like, any moment, but that's not really realistic. Like, I think given what we've sort of, the deals that were reached by the union for like the TV and film stuff, I'm not really optimistic that, like, if the people who specialize in television and film got kind of like an okay deal at best for for like TV and film, I'm not really sure they're gonna come up with, they're probably not really gonna strike or come up with something a whole lot better for the video games, eh? And again, it's just like, and now that they've got like a framework, now that they have like a template from the TV and movies, they probably don't have to work too hard now to figure out what they're gonna do with video games. So okay, I actually got I probably should have kept these on a I probably should have kept. Hang on, you're not secretly shiny, are you? No. Okay, Skarmory is the first. We said last week that we'll aim for a Skarmory this week. We'll see if we can shiny hunt Skarmory, and we'll see how easy or difficult or whatever shiny hunting a Skarmory is. We'll see. It might be hard, it might not. Who knows? But let's get into it. Go, Ouija. Yes. So yeah, no, we'll figure out. So it's just hard. Also, as well, like I said, I do have something coming up in like a couple of months where I may not be able to stream for like a weekend or 2. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if I start something new, I don't want it to be like interrupted. Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if I do start something new, if like say in like 2 or 3 weeks I do start Luigi's Mansion, I want to make sure that I'm like done with it by the time, I might have to pause streaming for a couple of weeks. So we'll see. Actually, hang on a minute. I don't have the shinies in my box, do I? No, I transferred them to Pokemon Home. Of course I did. I'm sorry, I caught a bunch of shinies this week, and I don't think I've really shared all of them. I meant to. I got Smeargle, and a whole bunch of other things. Like, it was a good week. I got, like, Poltergeist and Sinistchar. Like, just regular ones, not the super-duper special antique ones, but... Iced Mocha! Hello! Yeah, Iced Mocha. That is an excellent point. And this is what I'm kind of banking on, because I have Scarlet here. Skarmory for Violet is hard. Yeah, Skarmory for Violet is hard. But for Scarlet, it's easy. And the reason why is because I am going to make, because you obviously know what I'm going to do here. We're going to be making a steel sandwich, which is going to be, so tomato, onion, green pepper. And then, in addition to our burger, our 2 secret special steel type ingredients are 2 more burgers. And then we'll go spicy. We'll make it a spicy burger. And we'll go with the Kevin pick, as we call it here at Beau Video Games. And then, and yeah. But we're going to make a burger sandwich. A big old burger sandwich. Now, I wish burgers weren't so big that you could actually fit 1 per tomato, but that just ain't really the way burgers work. So we're going to try and sort of, there we go, stack them up nicely enough. And then we're going to just hope, ooh, onion. 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 And then we're going to put the bread all the way over here in the corner and hope this doesn't jiggle everything. Hey, it didn't. Okay. Sometimes it jiggles the sandwich. I know that did nothing, but sometimes it does it. So, okay. Kevin, you can't go wrong with picking me. Very nice. Rich and iron, Sandra says. And Teresa, hi. Sorry, I said hi to Ice Mocha and I hadn't said hi to you. You got a shiny Spiritomb earlier. Oh, nice. I got one in Legends Arceus, which I was glad to do. Because I imagine in this game it's harder to get one in this game than in Legends Arceus, unless you got yours in Legends Arceus or like Pokemon Go or something. Although Pokemon Go haven't had a Spiritomb event since probably like October or something. But anyway, Buck. Okay. Whoa. Right. So Steel encounter and title. Okay, nice. Well, Sparkling encounter. That's all we needed. Right, hang on, let me get a picture of Skarmory up on my phone, because I had a different thing there. Now, the trick with Skarmory might be a bit hard to spot, which is the one thing I'm worried about. Just because anything that's sort of like metallic is kind of hard to see the shiny for. But the trick with Skarmory is that instead of having like a regular Skarmory, like this one, will have like red in its wings, but a shiny one will have green in its wings, and I'm hoping that will be enough of a different... Now, I mean, a shiny Skarmory should look golden, right? like a regular one is silver, and the shiny one is gold. Like, that should be... Actually, let me just check their eyes. What color are your eyes? I think the eyes look similar. Okay. So, we'll see how this goes. But we'll see if we can get Skarmory. We said we were going to try for Skarmory. Let's see if we can get Skarmory. See, I can see that's got red in its wings. But it's just going to be hard with, like, these other ones. You look kind of different colored. But yeah, you're not shiny. But again, with the horrible lighting in this game and stuff, it's going to be hard to even... Oh, no, I didn't select you, Ceruledge. Okay, I can see he has red in his wings, so I'm not going to investigate him. But let's see what we... Okay, why aren't you attacking? Attack! Ceruledge. Are you going to attack better Iron Hands? You kind of float, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we might have to, like, really closely inspect these guys, and I'll probably still walk past one that's shiny. Ugh. It's one of these things with shiny hunting is, until you actually see them, you never really know how hard or not they're going to be to spot, and that's kind of the issue here. Like, you look kind of different to me. Are you shiny? No. And my Iron Hands isn't getting super effective damage despite being an electric type, because I guess it's attacking with fighting type moves. That kind of sucks. It is actually quite noticeable when comparing to other Skarmory. Okay, thank you, Iced Mocha. That's kind of what I'm banking on. That is a thing I'm banking on, but just you never know. And again, like if we get to like sunrise and it appears, that could be... Oh, there's a couple of scissors. If we get to like sunrise, it could be quite hard to spot them. But when it's all like sort of orangey in the sky or something like that. But see, you look silver, so I think you're going to be fine. But yeah, so this might be a bit of a slow-going shiny hunt, but if we do find one, it'll be very, very exciting, I'm sure. But yeah, so but the other thing Iced Mocha was kind of getting to that I realized I didn't finish my thought on here, was yeah, one of the reasons why it's hard in Pokemon Violet is because if we made a Steel-type sandwich in Pokemon Violet in this area, we would get a load of Shieldon. Whereas in Scarlet, the exclusive here is Cranidos. In Violet, it is Shieldon, which is also a so in one game you've got a rock type, and in the other game you've got a rock and steel type. And so because of that, that is the difference in what makes, because otherwise, like, Skarmory is the only steel type here. Look how we've got like exclusively Skarmories. But if you were, you know, doing it in Violet, we'd be getting a load of Shieldon as well. Now, we could have a couple of weeks ago when I actually did Shiny Hunt for Shiny Shieldon, we could have just done a Steel-type sandwich and kind of, like, hunted for both. But I wanted to just get Shieldon so that we could focus on Pokemon Scarlet and not have to go back to our Ice-type team and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't regret that decision. So yeah. But yeah, I'm worried about the dodgy light. It's like, see, like, your neck looks different. Are you shiny? But like, no, you're not shiny. We'll get a shiny Scizor. That'll be what happens. We'll get shiny Scizor, and it will be hilarious. See, look, see how it's like getting to like morning time now, and like these all, every one of these looks like it's a different color. I don't know what are colors anymore. Okay, let me just check. Oh, I do apologize if we get any Wonga today. For some reason, my like little activity thing, I don't know why this just doesn't work sometimes. It's very annoying. But yes, okay. So let's see. Anne, hi, lovely to see you. Yes. And then, okay, yeah, no, the Wonga isn't working. So if we get Wonga and I miss it, please feel free to point that out. And as always, you know, shiny hunting streams, I'm not always the best at checking chat. Like, I do have to stop to look at chat, periodically, because I can't multitask. My eyesight's horrendous. As well. So, okay. See, look, this one on the right looks kind of different, but I think it's just because it's not under a tree. Like, this one's under a tree, this one's under a tree, but then this one isn't under a tree. So, I don't know. Under the tree, I mean, wheels on the bus, wheels on the bus, wheels on the bus. Okay. No, I do apologize. Sorry, I should have kept all my... I could have kept all my screenshots of the shinies I got this week. I'll like post them to Twitter or whatever at some point. But I actually this week I experimented with something I hadn't done before. So this week, some of you may have seen on like social media, I bought a big USB stick, like a storage memory stick. Because I don't want to be a slave to Google storage. No, I think I have sort of talked about this a bit before, and chat, let me know if any of you have been kind of impacted by this as well. It's not just an impact, a Genshin impact. But like, have any of you been hit by the changes to Google storage, like from, it was about a year ago, it was like last April or so, Google implemented a change to their online storage policy. And basically, if you, like before April of last year, if you had like a Google phone or like an Android-y phone where you were all linked to Google and your photos saved to like Google Photos, if you had that kind of a deal or plan or phone or whatever, your photos would store online on the cloud for free. Like they'd be backed up on the cloud, so they wouldn't just be on your phone, but they'd be online. And then if your phone was getting filled up, you could go like free up space on my phone, but it was fine because your photos were all backed up, and if you went on your Google Photos, it was like there was no difference. Like there was no difference whether your photos were actually on your phone or on the cloud. It was very helpful. And so it was really great. But last year, like in April, they were like, okay, your photos are going to start counting towards your like 15 gigabytes of Google storage. So before April of last year, you had 15 gigabytes of storage, but that was like for your emails and your Google Drive, right? It was just for like those two things. And maybe some of like the videos you captured, like if you recorded something on a video, it would maybe take up a bit of extra space. But that was it. So like 15 gigabytes for like emails and for like Google Drive storage, that was pretty good, you know? But now that they've added in photos, it's like, oh, if you like take photos of your cats or I don't know, or just like loads of screenshots or anything, it does all like those hundreds of like pictures and screenshots and everything else you take, they do add up over like the course of a year, you know? And so you're kind of then, you know, you then get like, oh, guess what? You're in like 90% storage. Like, oh, you're at like 95% storage. And so if any of you have like hit your Google storage in like the last year and you've actually not known why, like, why am I hitting my storage? Like, I keep feeling like I'm hitting my storage. That is why. But it was very annoying. And it's so that you kind of subscribe to their like $20 a year storage thingamajig. And so I talked about the storage thing a bit more last week, but I didn't really talk about how it actually came to be. But yeah, so I got this stick this week. But so I got this stick because I sort of have things on my Google Drive that I don't need to have on my Google Drive anymore. One of the most predominant things, for those of you who know about like my immigration journey and stuff like that, on my Google Drive I had loads. Hang on. So again, like just the metal and the reflections. It was like you looked different. Now you don't. Now that I'm up close to you, you don't look any different. But a minute ago you looked different. But no. Those of you who are a bit familiar with my immigration journey, hold on. Why are you not attacking? Are any of these shiny? Is that why you're not attacking? Hang on. Are you shiny? You look different. No, you're not different. Oh, this is a nightmare. But those of you familiar with my immigration journey, and you sort of remember I talked about like all the evidence you have to submit and stuff like that, like articles and press and publicity and letters of recommendation. Well, you have to like scan all that stuff and have it somewhere shareable with like your immigration attorney, and Google is where I did mine. But basically I had like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of documents that I don't really need anymore. Now, obviously I'm going to keep them somewhere, you know, just in case, like being the paranoid person that that I can be at times. But like, you know, but it's like, I don't need to keep those on Google Drive anymore. You know, I can just keep those elsewhere. And so it's like, well, let's get them off the Google Drive finally. Like, I've looked forward to this moment for years. Like, you know, I've looked at that folder in my Google Drive for years and been like, I can't wait to get rid of you. And this week was the week I finally did it, which was cool. You're not shiny, are you? Or are you just under a tree? Under the tree. I mean, beneath a tree. There we go. That's legally distinct enough, right? Anyway, bark. But yeah, so I've looked at that folder for years, like hoping to be able to get rid of it, and this week I finally did. But yeah, like, I've been waiting for this. So it was, you know, so it was a cool thing to finally be able to do. So I was very happy to do that, and hopefully this doesn't horribly backfire in my face. You know, like Joe Biden's like, hey everyone, like you're gonna have to do green card applications once a year. Like Joe, but no. The ironic thing. Sorry to get political, but out of the two political parties, it would not be Joe. It wouldn't be the Joe Biden side of things that would implement a rule like that. But anyway, Buck, but you know, you never know. That's why you have to hold on to this stuff just in case. But just because you never know when rules are going to change. Like, I mean, the immigration rules actually changed during my coming here and during my applications and stuff like that. You know, like from when I first moved here to like now, the requirements for a visa like have changed. So, you know, so it is good to hold on to this stuff just because, just, you know, knock on wood. Knocking on wood. So, yeah. It's a line from Persona 3. That's why I didn't know what it was. Why I tried to half pretend I knew what it did. But I don't know. No good. How are you enjoying it, Xander? I mean, it's like you were enjoying it last week, but now that you've had your hands on it for more than... Well, actually, no, last week was only like the 3rd. So no, last week you'd only been playing it for like a day. But how are you enjoying it now that you've been playing it for a week? Let chat know. I will talk about Persona a little bit later on myself, actually. But Sarah Ledge, don't go into a tree. You're not George of the Jungle. Okay. See, I can kind of see the red on these guys, which is good. You look the same. You all look the same, and I think it is because they're all the same, but they all look the same. Okay. So, okay, you had red wings, so haha. Haha! Oh, and Kevin has been... Sorry, Kevin, to exclude you. You have been enjoying it as well. Loads of improvements. Decided to up the difficulty after playing it for a bit. Ooh, spicy. Let's see. Okay, Scizor is most definitely... Well, not ironic. How funny that the two Steel-type Pokemon here, Scizor and Skarmory, one of the things that does separate their Skarmory from the regular form is the regular form has red and the shiny form has green. But yes. So I'll just go back to Google Drive stuff for a minute. But no, so it's just, it was so good to get rid of that. And so I got rid of, like, the immigration stuff. The other thing I got rid of as well was I sort of got into the habit of storing my auditions on Google Drive. There was a reason I initially did this, and then I actually, like, haven't really needed to for a long time. Like, it hasn't needed to be on Google Drive specifically for a long time. But that's the thing. I like had all my auditions from when I moved here in like 2018 and 2019 and 2020 and 2021, 2022 that I don't need stuff from like 2022 and earlier, you know, kind of like on my Google Drive, you know, like I don't need that like instant access. Like there aren't auditions where I'm like, oh, I need to listen to an audition from 2021. Like on my phone, like I can't get to a computer. I have to listen to it on my phone right here, right now. Like that's just not like a thing, you know. Like I don't need that like instant online access kind of thing, like in the palm of my hand, you know, to quote Dr. Octopus. So, you know, so it's like, yeah, that's just not really a thing I need anymore. So, you know, I got those backed up as well. Unfortunately, it sucks a little bit because when I downloaded them from my Google Drive, it didn't preserve the dates. Hang on, you're not different, are you? You look different. I don't think you are different. Yeah, you're not different. Again, apologies for that every 5 minutes. Like, ooh, you look different. You're not different. But yeah, you don't need that kind of like instant access, and the only downside to getting rid of them, to not having them on my Google Drive, is when I downloaded them, it like removed like the dates that they originated from, which sucked. So if I am ever looking for something, I'll have to remember like how the file is labeled, and I won't be able to sort for them by date. Like there are some things where it's like I'll have an email for an audition, and so I can be like, okay, I just need to look at auditions from that day, and you can figure out which one. Whereas now, I don't have that option. And the only problem is, like, a lot of commercial auditions have, like, the same labeling. They'll just be, like, VO-Beau Bridgeland or something like that will be, like, my commercial auditions. So I have, like, loads of, like, VO-Beau Bridgeland emails or something like that. I suppose if the thing I could have done is I could have maybe like downloaded I could have created folders like by like month or something so like that. So like January 2020, you know, February 2020, like March 2020 or something, and then like I could have that like retrospectively, like that's what I would have done. To make them more findable and accessible, like I would have broken them up into like even more folders. So that's just my recommendation. If you ever have like a load of folders that you've got on Google Drive and you want to like download them, but you want to make sure you can kind of find them, maybe like, you know, create different like folders by month or something like that. Kind of break up, you know, create like a few like subfolders to kind of spread them out by year or month or whatever kind of breakup you need to break them up into. Because basically, like, you know, I'm actually ironically now less likely to listen to these auditions now that they're just, you know, I've just got like a bajillion VO-Beaubridgen files that like have no other discernible quality from any of the other VO-Beaubridgen, so I'm like not gonna know what they are, and I'm gonna be less inclined to like ever go back and listen to them because I'm not gonna know what they are when I click on them. But oh well. So okay, Skarmory, my dude, my bro, my guy. Where are you? Unless we get another shiny hang on. See, look how dark that Seadra is. No, I don't think that Seadra is shiny. I don't think this Seadra is shiny. Look, but look how dark that one is compared to the other two. It's like the lighting in this game. It's so weird. It just, what the heck? Hang on, I'm just going to pause for 1 second so I can catch up on chat. Lexi, you and your friend haven't got around to it yet because you're currently in Mexico for your mum's birthday. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yep. Okay, sweet. So those are my recommendations about Google Drive storage, but also like totally do it. Like, don't rely on your Google storage because they have made it harder to have online storage, and that base 15 gig is now not really enough. But it was so interesting, like just getting rid of like my auditions from like 2022 and earlier, and my green card stuff that got rid of like I had like 3 gigs or something like that, you know, which out of 15, that's like 20%, you know, so I got rid of like 20, it was like over 20% of my storage. I then like just did a quick search through of some other things, and like someday there'll be like a load of pictures and videos I can like get rid of from like the picture and video side of things, now that those take up space. But just, yeah, being able to like instantly clear up like 20% from like things I've looked at for ages, being like, oh, I can't wait to get rid of you. Can't wait to get rid of you. It was cool. So, and then I also just backed up a load of other stuff as well. And the whole reason that I started talking about this was I was talking about why do you not have screenshots for the shinies you caught this week? And I said I actually tried something new this week. Because I now have this USB stick with like loads and loads of storage on it, I wanted to try transferring pictures and videos from my Switch to the computer, because I've never done that before. I have always just manually copied videos one by one from my Switch to my phone. I would like put on a YouTube video or something like that, and then whilst watching the video, I would just manually copy over videos from my Switch to my phone. You're not different, are you? You don't look different. And I don't think you're different. You look like the one behind you. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. But I wanted to finally try that this week. And it took a couple of attempts because I sort of tried it different ways. But when I did eventually get it, it was very cool. And I basically just... And it was really cool because normally when I've like played games as well, before I had... so on my Switch, I also, like before Christmas, got a micro SD card so I can have like extra storage. So, like, you know, like a year ago, or when I was, like, playing, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or something like that, you know, I would, you know, you can only store, like, 100 pictures or no, it was like 100 videos or whatever. So Xenoblade 2 is not the best example because you can't take videos on it. But like, if I was like playing a game and I was like capturing videos on it, like when I was playing like Tears of the Kingdom, you know, I had to make sure I didn't ever get too close to like 100 videos so that I could like capture more videos. And so part of why I would like tweet and post videos of the games as I would go along is just because like I needed to copy them over because I just didn't have the space. Whereas it's much nicer now because now I can like just play through a whole game, take any pictures and videos I want, and then once I'm done with the game, I get to just go through all my pictures, like delete any duplicates or things that are no longer relevant or interesting that like, nah, that's not worth keeping. And then you can kind of then just and then I can just copy them over to the computer, which is really, really nice. Like, it means I don't have to, you know, because there are times where I'd like want to play my game, but I was like, oh, but I'm nearly out of storage. I need to like back up the storage. Like, I need to copy these things over to my phone. So I like actually wouldn't play the video game. So it's like now I can actually like play my video games, which is really nice. Like okay, you look different. You're not though, are you? No, it's just a light. This dang light. You look different, but I think it's just the light. I think we've got a weird time of day or something. Yeah. No, it's just weird time of day. Okay, okay, we got 7 minutes left. I do not know if we have seen any shinies. Hang on, let's just see. Google seems to be on a trend of making everything harder lately. It's annoying because, like, they know they've got you, you know? Like, you can't just change your... you can't just change your email address. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey guys, I've run out of storage, so I've got a new Google account or whatever. You can't just change your email address. Once you've, you know, once you're kind of like in deeply enough, you can't just like change your email address or whatever. So yeah, it's like they kind of know that like they've got you, and so yeah, like they can be like, well, we're gonna charge you now or whatever, and yeah, so oh, Davon, that is interesting. So in Kart Rider games, you've learned that if two teams end a race with the same score and team speed, the winner is the team with the highest scoring team member. Interesting. But yes, so yeah, it was so it's nice to actually play my video games now. The only downsides are, one, I kind of like then deleted off my Pokemon screenshots, which I should have kept to show you guys, but oh well. Anyway, bark. But the other thing is, so I took like loads of screenshots of Xenoblade to like make jokes, right? But the thing is, they're all now on my computer. They're not on my system. I mean, I didn't actually have to delete them off my system, and I could have. Like, I could have left them on my system and it would have been fine, but it's like I wanted to delete them before I play my next game that I'm going to be playing soon, like hopefully later today. But like, but it's just annoying because like, yeah, so I have all these screenshots and stuff that it's like, well, am I really going to like tweet all these pictures now? Like, I'm kind of done with Xenoblade. I want to kind of move on from it now. It's like, so am I really gonna like, I don't know, go on my computer and like transfer an image from my computer to my phone, or like, or set up Twitter on my computer and then like tweet all these pictures? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, am I really gonna do all this now? Like, I took loads of screenshots to like make jokes about them and stuff like that. And but it's like, am I really gonna do that? I don't know. Like, we'll see. Maybe I still will. But but you know, but I was kind of like, oh, like I have all these screenshots, but actually like a load of them I kind of only really have to like make jokes about, and it's like now I might not actually make the jokes about them. That's kind of weird. So we'll see how it goes. Beneath a tree. So let's see. How long we got left? Must be like 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Chat, I am not optimistic. Oh, chat, actually, we haven't done emojis, have we? So, I don't know. Is there like metal, birds, green hearts and sparkles? Something like that? Like maybe that'll work? Is that good? Is that a thing? If metal, if nothing comes up for metal, maybe like silver. Like if you do like silver, green, you look different. Like silver, green, like sparkles, buds, shiny stars and sparkles. Yeah, that's my proposition. So, but that's like so. What is the next game that I will be playing? This isn't on stream. This is just like personally, like what I'll be playing in my downtime. Now I actually have said this before, so those of you who are familiar with these streams, you'll be like, oh yeah, you said that. But I'm gonna make like a joke tweet about this later, so just go along with the joke and like hit the like button. Oh, remember to like and subscribe to the stream as well. But yes. But I am. See, you mentioned that you're going to be you've been playing Persona, and I later am actually going to begin playing Persona myself. And if you're thinking, Beau, Persona 3 Reload isn't on Nintendo Switch, and to which I say, but I am gonna play Persona 5 Royal, which I got at Christmas because there was like a good deal for it for Black Friday, but I didn't want to juggle it along with Fire Emblem Three Hopes and Xenoblade and Donkey Kong and Yooka-Laylee. Like that was already too much. So I wanted to wait until I was done with Xenoblade, but now I'm done with Xenoblade. I'm done with Xenoblade. I'm done with the DLC. I am all full of beans now. And as such, I am now ready, and I've sort of taken a few days off from, sort of gaming just to relax and to copy those pictures and all this other stuff and videos. But now, I think, it's like, yeah, I think I want to, like maybe I'm sort of pardon the pun, but like cramming it in a bit by doing it this weekend, because like it's a bit of a busy weekend. Like I had a session yesterday, so I couldn't start. Like normally I would like play a game on like a Friday evening, but I didn't get home until late yesterday. And then it's like, well, I am streaming today. Like I might not really feel like playing another game for like a few hours after I'm done streaming. But I don't know. Like maybe I'll play it later. Maybe I'll start tomorrow. But this week, I think this weekend I do want to start playing Persona 5 finally, because like they released Royal on Switch. I've wanted to play Persona 5 for ages, and so yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. Like I'm excited to finally play it, and I gotta play it before like they have another price drop for it, because if I bought it with a price drop, but then like if I see like some shop like in a week from now be like Persona 5 is only like $15 on Switch or something like that, I'll be like, no, I thought I already got it for a good deal. I got it for $25, which I thought was really, really good. That was very inexpensive. So, for a game where I'm probably going to end up playing it for like 100 hours or something like that, like $25, that's crazy. So yeah. So I am very much looking forward to that. If anyone has any recommendations for a beginner player, like I have never played a Persona game before. So if you have any quick recommendations, I'm happy to hear them. I mean, don't get, too backseat drivery about it, but if there's any like, when you get to like the mailman, don't trust him or whatever. I don't know. Is that a Persona thing? Like. But yeah, you can. But as long as you keep it vague, I don't mind having some early pointers. And again, as long as they're things that kind of like, if you get too technical with the details, I'm not going to know what you mean. But if you say something like prioritize SP or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like if you say something like that, I can be like, okay. Like my advice for Fire Emblem Engage, right? Here's like a spoilery but like awesome tip for like Fire Emblem Engage, right? If you were playing Fire Emblem Engage, or hang on, you look different. Are you different? Is that just lighting? No, dang it. I don't know what this is gonna look like. I mean, I do know what it's gonna look like, but I don't know what this is gonna look like. I'm trusting you, Iced Mocha. When you say I'm gonna know, like when the time comes, you'll know. Like I'm trusting you, Iced Mocha. But But like, so for Fire Emblem Engage, for example, for anyone who hasn't played Fire Emblem Engage, this is my one tip for Fire Emblem Engage if you're like a beginning player. So you can like, there are like the, I forgot what they call them now, but like the emblem characters, like the old heroes. So like Marth and Roy and Ike, the emblem characters, right? And each like regular character can like pair up with an emblem character, and you can pair up each character with like multiple people. That's like a gameplay mechanic that, you know, that's like the whole, you know, oh, we ran out. Okay. That's like the whole hook of the game. But anyway, but what you can do is, because you sort of pair these characters up, you can then sort of level them up, and they like level up to like, I don't know, there's like some sort of like, you know, pairing up level system that like goes up to like level 20 or something like that. One of the characters, one of the emblem characters is called Sigurd. And Sigurd, at like level 5, has this ability called Kanto. Okay? Not to be confused with Johto. And when you have Kanto, it's like a really, really like busted ability. And so basically, what you want to do is, there are like ways that you can kind of like pair up and level characters without actually having to like pair them up and sort of like have them battle together or anything like that. There's a thing you can do. And basically, my advice to everyone is like, use your resources and stuff like that to get as many of your characters as possible to like this like level 5 with Sigurd. It's like a very inexpensive, easy and quick thing to do. And it's like, if you do that, you know, if you like inherit Sigurd's Kanto ability with everyone, it is such a good ability to have on like every character. And that's my like, you know, my vague but specific, but, you know, not spoilery, Fire Emblem Engage tip. Okay, chat, we did not get a Skarmory. It doesn't, I can't remember if it's Kanto or Kanto, or Encanto or Enjoto, I don't know. So, but okay, luckily I don't see like a bajillion people saying, "Beau, those are shiny, 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 those are shiny." So yes. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the emojis. Sorry it did not work out. But let's figure out, maybe we'll try for Skarmory again later in the stream. But right here, right now, let's see what else we've got. So we didn't have any cool Outbreak Pokemon, did we? Let's see. Like, I do need a 4th Oricorio, and I do need a male Esper, but that's not, like, necessary. Oh, I tell you what we can do. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, no, I know what we're doing. I know what we're gonna do. Sorry, I just belched a little there. At least this morning I did eat some breakfast, because like last week I kind of half talked about like a stomach issue I had. I realized I actually didn't really end up talking about that properly. There was like a time last year where basically, I sort of began talking about it. I sort of said like I was like in the shower, and then I had this like indigestion-y thing. But one of the really horrible and scary things about it is, when I would go to sleep, I would like just wake up in the middle of the night, feeling like having all the sensations that you're about to throw up, but I didn't ever throw up, but I sort of felt like, but all the like signs that your body, all the things that your body does and all the things that your body feels, like before you throw up, my body would feel, but then that final thing didn't happen, thank goodness. But if you just wake up in the middle of the night and then like 5 or 10 seconds later, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna, like, that's really scary. And that happened like a few nights in a row, and then luckily like it kind of went away. But like ever since I had this indigestion-y thing, and all that kind of stuff, my stomach has never, I'm not sure if my stomach has ever quite felt the same since. It's like felt a bit more like, I don't know, like acidic or something. And I feel like it's kind of come back a bit recently. At least the stomach acidic-y thing. And so it kind of means like my appetite's not been as good. And like last Saturday, I remember talking to you guys being like, I haven't even had breakfast because I just do not feel like eating. I just do not want to eat today. And oh hey, Oricorios. None of you are shiny, are you? Because that'd be really helpful. No. Okay. Fine and fair enough. Right, we'll save the game because we like saving our game 50 bajillion times here at Bovio Games. Whoop. So I'm sort of like I've improved, but I'm not sure if I ever got back to like 100%. It's a really weird thing, but like so my stomach has been weird recently, and it does like affect my appetite. Like I kind of know that I want food, but my stomach just really doesn't want any. We're gonna go with spicy again just to see, and we'll go with the Kevin pick. Okay, yeah, it is Kanto, and yeah, and Fire Emblem Heroes, yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes, exactly, yeah, for Fire Emblem Heroes, it's an even bigger deal, just because of, like, how sort of limited the movement is in that game, because, like, the grids are so small in Fire Emblem Heroes, like, if you can, like, move an extra 2 spaces, that's, like, just such a big deal, but yeah, but even in Engaged, like, just having that, the Kanto ability is basically a TLDR for those who haven't played Fire Emblem. It's kind of like hit and run. So it's like you can go up to an opponent, you can hit them, and then after you've done hitting them, you can like run away to a different space. You're not like just still standing right next to them. So you can kind of like move to a space, attack an opponent, and then like flee to a different space. It's very useful. Sorry, so my stomach, yeah, so... But like last week, I just did not want any food at all. Whereas today, I actually did feel a bit hungry this morning, kind of thing, which was good. So, but yeah, I don't really know what caused it. Don't really know what it's about. Hopefully, it's nothing concerning. Ha ha ha! Yay for living in a country with no free healthcare, where you would just go, you know what? I'm gonna check that out. But oh well. So we'll see how that goes. But no. So this week though, I actually did have more of an appetite. So I actually did eat this morning, which is good. That's something. Okay. So last week we hunted for an Alolan Diglett, and we ended up getting an Alolan Dugtrio, interestingly. So we actually need the Diglett this week, and we'll have to see how that goes. Now the Alolan, hang on, I will get the picture up on my phone, even though I can kind of see it in my head. They're basically like, they're sort of like a browny red, like they sort of look like red velvet cake kind of color, is how I would describe it, honestly, because it's sort of like a very reddish brown. It's like if you get like red dirt or something like that. But yeah, so and then they have like the blue nose. So right, attack Cerulege. Or don't, fine, we'll get a different Pokemon. Azumarill, I choose you. Oh, whoa, look at all these Diglets. Diglett dig, Diglett dig. Trio. Okay, wow, that's a lot of Diglets. None of them shiny, unfortunately. So I believe what I did was I went in this room, and then I ran down to... Well, I don't think it was quite this... Was it this room? No, it wasn't this room, was it? But that's okay. We'll figure out which rooms we need to, travel between, and then, yeah. Right. Let's see. I don't think these Diglett despawned. But the thing, we'd be able to tell if there was a shiny Diglett. Oh, it was this room. It's the room with, like, this one block on the wall on the right. Like, that was the room that we would go to. And then, there's Dugtrio. Out the way, Dugtrio. Yeah, attack it, Cerulege. Come on. Ugh, whatever. But, like, see, all these are the same. So this should be quite easy to, like, spot the Diglets and stuff. It's just whether we actually get one to spawn will be the issue, as opposed to being able to spot one. So, let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay, so, like, all these Diglets are the same. Diglett dig, Diglett dig. And then here we go. So yeah, but I'm glad that I feel like having a bit more food. But one of the problems, whenever you have like any kind of problem, be it like a physical issue or a mental health issue or something, is like we so quickly forget what like base normal feels like. Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't know, like it, like say if like you start having like some kind of pain in your leg and then it results in you like walking a bit funny, you just kind of get used to like walking funnily, and it just becomes like second nature to you. And I don't know, and even with things like, you know, sort of, you might even like get used to a pain or something. So maybe when it's gone, you would notice, but it's only if something's like, I don't know, super instant and super different than before or whatever. Like if something gradually gets better, you'd be like, do I feel better now? Or I don't, like, I think I feel better? Like, is this how I used to feel? Or like, or have I always felt this way? I mean, that's kind of one of the problems with depression. With depression, you kind of convince yourself that you have always felt that way. You know, you sort of assume there's just something where you don't feel right, but you also simultaneously feel, you kind of know something's wrong, but you also simultaneously feel like, no, this is just how I've always been. And it's like, no, it's not though. It's not how you've always been. There's, you know, you can do better than this. There's more than this, you know. But yeah, I don't know. But that's kind of true for like physical stuff as well, in all honesty. So yeah, so it's because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, am I just paying more attention to my stomach now, or has my stomach always been a bit acidic, or is it like somewhere in between the two? And so it's very weird and hard. But this week I actually did eat. And although I could go to, and because I had that session yesterday, I could justify going to McDonald's today, but I actually have like a bunch of food in the fridge that I kind of do need to use, and so it would be kind of wasteful to not use it and stuff like that. And I actually want to have it as well, so I'm kind of like excited about having it. So yeah. One thing that is weirdly funny, right? So like you know, I've sort of been eating, you know, I've been eating at McDonald's kind of somewhat every once in a while, or like I've been eating at McDonald's frequently for like the past year and a bit now. Like, you know, I've been doing McDonald's every Friday for like the past year and a bit. And I used the app to do my orders, except for like a few weeks in January, because I got a gift card, which is very cool. But I had to like order in person to do that. But like when I order on the app, I like never have any issues. My food comes out, you know, as I want it and everything. But in fairness, I don't like have any like weird customization requests or anything. So in theory, in game theory or in food theory, you know, the food should come out kind of pretty straightforward, you know, because it's like, hey, I just want like a McChicken and a McDouble and some fries, you know, like that's pretty straightforward. You know, I'm not asking for like, oh, can you take off the cheese or anything like that. But what's really weird is, so last Saturday, like if you remember last Saturday, I was like, I'm gonna get an extra McDonald's this week. I ordered my McDouble and my McChicken, but my McChicken, it's normally just like, it's like chicken, lettuce, and mayo is what a McChicken is. But like mine had like tomato and pickles on it, which maybe like the McCrispy is like that or something, but like the McChicken isn't. But it was really weird. I was like, oh wow, I got an error. Like, you know, like I never get any mistakes with my food. Like, and like Food Theory had done an episode about like, oh, like is using the apps better than ordering in store and all this kind of stuff. And they were like, oh, we got like a bunch of errors with the app. Like not as many as in person, but we still got errors. And I was just kind of like, how do you get errors? Like I've been using the app for years. And like loads in like the last year, and I've like never had an issue with it. And sorry, I like can't get out of this little hole. There we go. Like Sarah Ledge, can you like attack these guys or something? Like, can you just do something, please? I'm worried that these Diglett and Dugtrio aren't despawning. Yeah, so they obviously kind of mixed up like a McCrispy and McChicken. It was still like a McChicken because like it was small. Like I think a McCrispy is like a big sandwich, and it was still wrapped in the like McChicken wrapper and everything. But yeah, but they kind of but like they messed up. You know, someone like got their wires crossed, kind of thing, and it's fine because it's like I just pull the tomato off and I don't mind pickles. But then, so yesterday I did my Friday McDonald's, and instead of a McDouble, they just gave me a hamburger. And unfortunately, I didn't notice until I got home. So now I actually will have to check more. Like, I always just checked in the bag just to see that I have, like, okay, I have 2 burgers and I have fries. Like, that's what I would kind of check for. I just check for, like, quantities kind of thing. That I have, like, one of something. But now I'm actually I might have to kind of check, like, you know, check the wrapper or something and just be like, I hope this is right, because it's so weird. I've never had any issues, and then like twice in a week, twice in a row, I've had issues, and like at the exact same time that like Food Theory did an episode about like, oh, do you get errors if you order on the app? And I always like would tell people like, oh, you definitely want to order on the app because like it's so much more accurate. Like I've been saying it to shiny. There we go. There's a shiny. See the little red guy on the left? No, don't dig. I know you're a Diglett, but don't dig. Hang on, where'd he go? Hang on. Oh, no. Hang on. Don't worry, this is fine. Look, he's still there in the background. Right, bitter blade! Right, this is going to be kind of hard, because I'm going to have to hope that the automatic targeting... Because I think if you approach a Diglett, they... hang on. No. Oh, Don't worry, we can always, like, reset the game if, like, it runs away or something. Come on! We finally got a shiny, like, an hour into this stream. I want to talk about shinies, not about McDonald's orders. No, I like talking about McDonald's. But anyway, but yeah, but it's so funny that we kind of... No, don't select Ceruledge! I don't want to talk to Ceruledge! Right, hang on. No. The middle one, please. Middle one, there we go. Okay. Hey, we did it, chat. We did it. Oh my gosh, that was exhausting. Okay. Right, quick ball, go! There we go. We got it. First shiny of the stream. And we did it without emojis, so maybe we don't need emojis. In fairness... And again, this is why we do mark our streams here as 18+, just because every once in a while some kind of innuendo or something's going to come up. But, like, in fairness, I don't really know what, like, the emoji for, like, a Diglett is. You know, like, it's best not to think about that, so let's carry on talking about McDonald's. No, I mean, I don't know if there's, like, a mole emoji, but if there's not, like, what else do you know, just, that's kind of... You know, people already make jokes about Diglett and particularly about Wiglet, and it's just like, yeah, let's not, like, you know, like, guys, put emojis to Diglett. Actually, no, don't do that. So yeah. We got through the power of McDonald's, and we're loving it. Yes, Kevin! So, I did slightly reword your thing there. Okay. So, oh, look, little Litten. Hi, little Litten. Little Litten smoosh. Okay, so, you may be wondering, well, we got the Diglett, what are we doing now? What are we going to do tonight, Brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Hunt for a Skarmory. Yes, now that we have Diglett, so this thing, like, on my, I have no ground types left now. Diglett was my last ground type, and to be honest, I already had Diglett, just not a Alolan Diglett. So, we're going to use the rest of this time to hunt for a Skarmory. The rest of this sandwich, I mean. Not actual, like, time on the stream. Like, the stream will only be Skarmory. No. We'll hunt for other things. But still. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. Okay. So we need to find where is... Oh, hang on. I am going the wrong way. Woo for our Skarmory shiny hunt. I know, right? Like, no. No. I actually do have one stream in mind where we might hunt for like a particular Pokemon, and like that will be the stream. And if we get it in like 5 minutes, then so be it. But that is definitely something for another day or in a few weeks or whatever. Okay, so it is nighttime. Maybe Skarmory will be easier to see at night, or maybe it will be harder to see at night. Who knows? What was I hunting for the other day? Oh, like Oricorio. If you're hunting for like ghost-type Oricorio in Kitakami, that one's good to do at nighttime. Because just with that lack of sunlight, it's just easier to see the like bright blue of the shiny one. But okay, these look the same, so I'm relying on Iced Mocha. I am trusting you, Iced Mocha. I am putting my faith in your hands. So yeah. But anyway, Bark, I am glad to not be having as many stomach issues. I am glad not to be hungrier. I am glad to, I'll be like cooking some food today or whatever. And, yeah, and those are all that stuff that I was going to talk about. And then I talked about copying stuff over from the Switch. One thing that was funny about copying from the Switch to the computer, you do need a USB-C to USB cable. And I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, the Switch does not come with one by default. And I was like, oh, do I actually, like, have one of those? I was like, I think I do. Like, I think I had a charger that, like, it's, like, USB-C, and then instead of having a plug on the other end, it had USB on it. And so I, like, checked. And I had one cable, but it was like a busted cable. Like, I think it is broken. Like, I don't think it works. I'm going to test it on a few things, but I don't think it works. Okay, you look different. You're not different. Okay, you are different, yeah. Again, it's like, usually when I see these things, I'm like, I'm sure you're not shiny, but I need to check just to be sure. Because, like, these two look different. Look, they look different. One's under a tree, and one's not. But, like, in fact, I'm going to take a screenshot of that just to prove my point. But, yeah, like... Anyway, Bark. But I was like, oh, do I actually even have, like, a USB-C to USB cable? And so I had, like, this one option, but, yeah, it's, like, broken. I think I do need to, like, test it 1 or 2 more times and then, like, throw it out. But I was like, I've had this idea. I've got all these like Xenoblade screenshots and videos. Like I've got like 1,000 of them, and I might not be able to get them off my Switch without copying them to my phone one by one. And then I looked down at my capture device, and I was like, oh wait a minute. The thing that goes from my capture device to the computer is a USB-C. So my capture device I actually unplugged it from my capture device, and I was able to use that cable to connect from my Switch to my computer, which was really awesome. So that was convenient, and yeah, and then it was very quick to copy, you know, like all the Xenoblade stuff to my computer, and then to copy it to the USB stick, and yeah, so that was really good. And again, it's nice that I was able to just like play Xenoblade and not have to constantly not play it to, you know, make jokes and stuff. But the problem is I do now have all these jokes and screenshots and stuff and like puns and fun things, but I'm also like, I kind of want to move on from Xenoblade now, and I want to play Persona. You know, finally, because you know I've had the game for a few months now, but it's, you know, it's like the first time I've really like ever had like a backlog. Because I was like, yeah, I don't want to juggle this with like 3 other games, which I think was the wise choice, but still. So on my OBS, I've just got, for like the activity thing where the Wonga would in game theory, come up. It's just like a spinning circle, and it's just driving me like absolutely mad. I might just see if I can, hold on a sec. Let me get rid of that, and then come back. Is that all I need to do to get it to come back? Or will it, okay, well now it's just black. without any spinning. Oh, nope, there goes the spinning circle. But maybe this time it will load. or it will just not. I don't know. Okay, how long do we have left of this sandwich? 13 minutes. Okay. See, look, we've got Diglett in like 10 minutes. And it's not that we are deprived of Skarmory spawns. It's just hard to see them, and it's a bit slower to check them all. I mean, I would argue with the Diglett, like, if they weren't actually respawning or whatever, like, it was a bit harder to get them to respawn, but... Ow. Audio loop, for the love of Nelly. Deactivate, activate. There we go, that should be good now. But let me know. Let me know if that didn't work. Dang it, like, stream elements activity thing. Why don't you work? Okay. Anyway, Bark. No, thank you for the heads up. I got on that very quickly today, didn't I? I noticed that comment very quickly. I was right on that today. So, okay. So yeah. Tomorrow's the Super Bowl. Is anyone excited about that? Any American football fans here? It's a bit of a shame because, you know, when I moved here, I was sort of all excited about the prospect of, like... Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Bless me. I might sneeze again in a sec. I was sort of excited at the prospect of, like, going to, like, someone's house and, like, being at a Super Bowl party and, you know, like, stuff. I'm gonna live the American dream. And the first year, my first year where I was, like, actually, like, here for a Super Bowl was, like, 2019. Because I moved in, like, the summer of 2018. And I didn't do one. Like, I think it was a bit of a, I don't know, I think, like, it was a bit of a boring Super Bowl or something, so it kind of turned out fine. And it was like, oh, well, it'll be fine. 2020 will be the year, baby. And then, admittedly, like, COVID wasn't a super scary thing, and, or you know, like, people probably weren't taking it quite seriously enough in, like, you know, mid-February of 2020. But, hang on, why did you not attack there, Sarah Ledge? I don't like it when you don't attack. But, like, you've got red wings. Red Bull gives you red wings. But yeah. But I sort of ended up not doing it in, like, 2020 either. I think because I don't know, I was aware of, like, my visa, and I wanted to be aware of money, and there was this thing maybe, and I was busy at the time. I had, like, a bunch of gigs in, like, February 2020. So I didn't do it either. And then basically the pandemic has killed any kind of desire for me to go to a big indoor place with a bunch of people and do that and be maskless. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, you know, at the minute, I feel like I am never going to go and sit inside a restaurant again, inside a movie theater again, hang out with, like, a big group of friends again or something where it's, like, I don't know, half a dozen or more people. I just don't feel any of that. And so I probably, and, you know, and now I've had, like, 5 years of, like, not caring about the Super Bowl, and I don't think that probably is ever gonna start now, you know? I think, like, I've kind of missed the boat on that. I'll never say never, but like, still, I think, like, the moment's gone, and, you know, it's like Super Bowl or begin playing Persona 5 Royal. It's like, I'm gonna go with the Persona. I've never played Persona, but I'm gonna go with the Persona. So yeah. Oh, hi, Miss Wannikins. Lovely to see you. Let me hold on a sec. I just need to I can feel and hear that I am getting congested. So I just needed to blow my nose there, so I apologize. Okay. Cliffo, you're excited for the Super Bowl this year, but your family cancelled your cable, so you don't know if you can even watch. Isn't it on well, isn't it on CBS? And isn't CBS like accessible to everyone, or is CBS? I thought CBS was like one of the regular channels and not like cable, um, but then again, I suppose if you don't have, say, like a television aerial or something, like you know, if you don't actually have any way to connect to a television other than, you know, like cable, then that kind of sucks. I don't. That's the thing. I do apologize because I don't quite know how television works in America. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but in the UK, you know, like in the UK, it's like so in the UK. Let me explain what I mean when I say that, but by explaining how the UK works. So, like when I was growing up, you would turn on the television and you'd get an analog television signal going to an analog aerial, an analog television aerial. And there were like four channels, and then, I don't know, at some point when I was kind of young, they added a fifth channel. And that was television. But if you wanted to pay extra, you could get a satellite dish, and then there were like a load of channels, and that was like done on a subscription, like a monthly subscription. And so that was the thing. You either had 5 channels, or you had a bajillion channels. One was analog, one was digital. But then, eventually, they started turning the sort of like the mainstream television signal into the mainstream television signal into a digital signal. You look different, but you're not different. Okay, Sarah Ledge, can you like just attack the Skarmory, please? Because I know it's not shiny. Thank you. He didn't want to attack it, but I knew that he should be. And so eventually what happened is once we started getting like, you know, kind of like regular television on digital signals, there also were a bunch of channels that they used to be like exclusive to the digital signal, but then they went sort of and became, in the UK, it's what's known as Freeview, kind of thing. Like basic television now is called Freeview, and that's basically like if you turn on your television, it will have a digital signal, and you get access to, and it's about like 80 channels or something like that. Maybe it's gone up or down since I left England. I don't really know. But there are like a whole load of other channels now. But then eventually what kind of happened was, so you had like analog and digital signals, but they started to phase out the digital signals. So like in like 2011 or 2012, I think it was in like 2011, or it was like 2010 or 2011. The area of the country where I lived in was like the first part of the country to phase out the analog signals. So if you had like an old television, you wouldn't get a television signal on it unless it was digital. But then eventually over the next few years, England kind of phased out various different regions, and I don't know how long it's been since England went all digital, but like it's been a while now. I don't know what America's policy is. I imagine America is probably like all digital signal now, but I don't know. Or all cable or something at least, you know. But yeah, it's interesting. So now in England, now that England is just an all digital television sort of signal country, it means that, yeah, by the base, if you buy a TV and you like hook it up to the aerial on your roof, it'll be a digital aerial. You'll receive a digital signal, and you will have access to about like 80 different television channels. And I don't really know like how many America has, but you know, whether America has like dozens or just like a few or whatever, but or whether they have like digital and analog or anything like that. But like CBS is one of the like basic channels though, right? Like it's not like exclusive to like some kind of paid or premium platform, right? Like you can buy a television, plug it in, hook it up, and you'll get, you know, CBS, right? Like that is kind of the way without any kind of like subscription service or anything like that, right? So in that theory, in TV theory, you know, in my mind, I'm like, sort of, as long as you have like a functioning television and functioning way to get a television signal, you should be able to get CBS, but forgive me if that's wrong. I do not know. Now, let me see if, let's see. Kevin, that reminds me of Fail Your Parents joke. In the future, there will be 500 TV channels, but nothing to watch. Sarah Ledge, focus, please. Oh, yeah, the campfire thing. Like, there will be hundreds of channels, but nothing to watch. Yeah, I remember that. But yes. It's sort of got that, like, campfire vibe, but I can't remember if it's actually by, like, a campfire. But, can you imagine having to pay for something that was once free? Don't tell me that, like, you do need to pay, like, some kind of subscription just to get, like, the basic television channels. Don't tell me that's the case. Don't tell me you can't just buy a television, plug it into a functioning signal, and get, like, I don't know, NBC, ABC, CBS or something. Surely, like, you can get, like, those three. Kevin! But yeah, it's in a tent, that's it. It's like in a tent with a flashlight, yeah. So it's like camping, not campfire, but yes. Okay, I knew I was like somewhere in the ballpark. Okay. Let's see, Skarmories. These all look the same. Kevin. No, but seriously, like, American peeps. Is that not how television works? Can you not just, like, buy a television and plug it in and get some channels? Like, without having to pay a cent? Is that not how television works here? Because, like I just said, in the UK, you get 80 of them. Admittedly, if you want to watch the BBC, you have to pay a license for that. And if you were like, oh, hi, I have a TV and I have all these channels, but I never watch any of the BBC stuff, they would still probably punish you for that. They'd be like, yeah, sure. You watch all the channels, but not any BBC. So in theory, in game theory, you do have to pay, like, a yearly subscription to the government to, like, get the BBC, and or sort of in theory, you do sort of need to, like, pay the BBC to be able to, like, watch television, because they would be skeptical of the fact that you watch all TV but none of it BBC. But, like, so it is called, like, the TV license rather, or whatever, but still, but you technically wouldn't actually need a TV license to have access to television. You can buy a television, you can plug it in, and you can get channels. But, like, if you watch the BBC, you are expected to pay the government to have access to BBC. Let's see. You had to buy, like, a little antenna thing to get access. See, that could just be to do with, like, television signal type stuff. Like, if you didn't have a television antenna on, like, your roof or something like that, if that makes sense. But I just want to know, if you have, like, a functioning television antenna on your roof and you plug your television into it, like, will you get some channels and you're allowed to watch them? Because otherwise it's like, well, what does the antenna do? If it's not picking up television, like, how can it not pick up television? Like, how can it not pick up television? Like, that's its job. Like, it just automatically must receive signals. You can't like turn on the signal. Like, I mean, you can for, like, a digital satellite signal, but for like non-satellite. Okay, well, anyway, we're getting lost and too focused on this, but as long as you have an antenna, you can get some channels. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, there are some channels. I don't know how many, but I was like, there must be, like, some base channels. And again, it must be, like, you know, like CBS, NBC, what was it? Well, you know, sort of hang on, CBC, sorry, CBS, NBC, like ABC, or something like that. You know, like the big ones, the big three or whatever. And then I don't know, maybe some other stuff. But okay, cool. Right, anyway, that's that topic done for. Let me just see. Hold on, what topics did I write down? Actually, I have literally talked about all the things that I had written down today. Where I'd be like, oh yeah, oh gosh, we only got 20 seconds left. Skarmory, Iced Mocha, where is the shiny? Where is it? Soiled it. Oh, that's actually something I forgot to talk about. Last week, I don't think that in last week's stream, I made a single SpongeBob reference. I think last week was the first week I went... Because I had a stream a few weeks ago where I was like... At the end of it, I was like, I made a SpongeBob reference. And I was like, I don't think I'd made a SpongeBob reference until like these final few seconds of the stream. Oh, we almost got through a whole stream without SpongeBob. Last week, I got to the end of the stream. I like turned off the feed, and then I, you know, like getting food or like heading to McDonald's or whatever. And then I was like, oh, I don't think I referenced SpongeBob. And then, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I did last week. So that was funny, but yeah. Yeah, I like said CBC, which yeah I know is like the Canadian one. Oh, hang on, what communicating? What do you mean communicating? No, don't like no. I think it's like trying to connect. No, I don't want to connect to the internet. No, don't want to connect to the internet. Get off the internet. Like I don't want to connect to the internet. Jeepers. These sandwiches are quite the steal in that they don't work. We got the Diglett. It's just, I think Skarmory, I think it's going to be hard to spot, and I think that's why we're not finding one. Okay, so, right, we're done with Skarmory. I think today we're done with Skarmory. So, the two things I have in mind, right here, right now, are, we can either make a poison-type sandwich and hunt for Oddish. We can do a grass-type sandwich and hunt for Cottony and Oddish, and maybe also Deerling. I can't remember which Deerlings I've got. I think I need spring and winter to whatever. But so poison for Oddish, grass for Cottony and Oddish, and maybe also Grookey. Ooh, hiccup. Or fairy for Cottony and Comfey. So, because we were talking about Fairly Odd Parents a minute ago, maybe we could do the fairy type sandwich. Maybe we could do fairy, like fairy then grass, something like that. Does that sound like a good idea? I think that sounds like a good idea. I'm not even going to wait for you guys to reply. Okay, so let's do a fairy type sandwich. Sorry, that was a terrible impression there. I kind of half did that. Okay. Hey, although in fairness to CBC, there are probably people in like the northernmost parts of America who like get CBC. Okay, let's see. You are a not shiny Comfey. You are a not shiny Comfey. You are a not shiny Comfey. Okay, so Satella, hi. Okay, so let's make a picnic. Let's make, like, Harry McIntyre and get the puck out of here. Okay, it's funny, I did see a clip from that show the other day. I was thinking maybe, like, Harry McIntyre was going to pop up, but it was very funny. It was such a good show. Right, okay, anyway, Buck. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can explain in a minute, but I talked about it all a few weeks ago. Okay, fairy sandwich. What was the fairy sandwich? I'm going to need to look this up, aren't I? Tomato is psychic, I want to say, or is it tomato? Is fairy tomato? No, fairy is tomato. Okay, weird. Right, tomato, tomato, tomato. Okay, a very tomatoey sandwich. Oh, and the burger. Sorry. I was like, what ingredient am I missing? The answer's burger. We're going to do... Should we do sour and see if this works? Feeling kind of sour. Oh, apologies if the frame rate seems low. Frame rate looks low on my preview. So if the frame rate is low for you guys, I don't really know what's causing that. I suppose I didn't check for any updates before doing this stream, but I've used my computer a bunch this week to do all that copying, so it should be updated. So yeah. Okay. Right, let's get the burger going. Then let's get the peppers going. And then the onion. We're going to just put... Oh, no! No! Oh, for the love of Nelly. I hope I saved my game after we caught that Diglett. Oh, well, we'll just have to get a shiny here, won't we? Okay. Let's see what... Let's see what the fairy type sandwich brings. Hopefully I did not make this sandwich wrong, or hopefully this combination works. Because if it doesn't, we're in trouble. Hopefully we saved the game 50 bajillion times. Sparkling title. Catch it! No! No! Oh, crud. Well, that didn't work. Okay, well, here we go. Let's just hope that we did save our game after we caught that Diglett. Oh, gosh. Otherwise, guess who's Diglett hunting again? Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hope I saved after we got that Diglett. Yeah, it gave me sparkling power, but it didn't give me encounter power. So it's pointless hunting for something if they don't appear. So that's the problem. You need sparkling and encounter, otherwise it's unless you're literally going to an area where only one Pokemon ever appears. Okay, good, we did save the game. Unless you're going to an area where literally only one Pokemon appears, which I don't really think is a thing, you need to have it. If anything, encounter power trumps sparkling power. Because at least with encounter power, you are encountering the Pokemon over and over again. But if you have sparkling power up, but you're not seeing any of the Pokemon, it kind of defeats having boosted sparkling power if you like never encounter the Pokemon. Right, we're feeling bitter. Grrr. It's a shame that fast food is getting more pricey. I know, right? Like, you hear about how cheaply people used to get like fast food. Like, I used to get, like, you know, you watch, like, an old McDonald's advert, and you could get, like, a, you know, burger and a fries and a drink for, like, $3 or something, and now it's, like, 10. And it's, you know, like, you can't get, like, a combo at McDonald's for, like, you know, much less than 10 now, unless, like, you don't have to pay tax on the food or something like that. But, like, once you factor in tax, like, it's always going to come out at, like, over 10, which sucks. So, yeah. Right, okay. Let's see. So, right, 1 onion, 2 onion, and 3 onion. Okay. Okay, right. So let's see if this works. Let's see. Ooh, Impossible Burger from Burger King. Sounds good. So I'm also just catching up on some chat. But no, so... But yeah, so... Yeah, sorry. I've probably never really explained that, but yeah, when you're making the sandwich, the two main things you're looking for like, sparkling and encounter power. So let's see what we've got. So we've got, right, sparkling, title, encounter. There we go. See, like, now... See, if we'd have run around before... We would have seen, like, a load of, like, Oddish and Grimer and Oricorio. Whereas now, See, look, there's like a load of Comfeys here. Let's see, these are all green. So the trick with Comfey, if we look at a Comfey, notice they've got like red flowers, pink flowers, and yellow flowers, right? And then they've got this like one green flower. So if you can see green on a Comfey, that means it's not shiny. The one thing that changes with a Comfey, is they will have blue on them instead of green. The green bit will be blue. So if you can't see green and you can, or if you can see green, it means that it is not, it's not shiny. And if you can't see green, then you want to inspect it closely, because if you see blue instead, that means that it is indeed shiny. So I don't know if there are any emojis for lays, but this is for Satella, I guess, because you are from Hawaii, if I am not mistaken, and I'm sorry if you're like, hey, that's personal, but I feel like you've mentioned, you've like talked on stream about being from Hawaii and stuff, haven't you? Let's see though. We've got, unless I have just made that up and got that wrong. You're like, I'm from Alabama. Either like I've got it right and it's either I've got it right and it's fine to say that's right. I've got it right, but that's personal. Or I have got that wrong and I just made it up somehow. But this is like up your alley or something, right? Like going with like a Hawaiian cliche. That's fine. That would be like me hunting for Sinistea and going, see, like, it's a British thing. Ha 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 ha. No. Although, in fairness, you could do that with any Galarian Pokemon, really. Like, hey, let's do a Galarian one. Like, I'm feeling in a British mood today or whatever. You're just a regular picky peck, right? Yeah, okay. Had to check. Okay, so let's traverse these islands. And now, this is, unfortunately, Comfey's not, like, the best one to hunt for. Because, like, it is just that little bit harder to see. You do need to, like, inspect them closely. But still. We can see how viable or not this is, and then if not, we can just switch to Cottony. But yeah, I see green. I can see greenly now. The green is green. It's gonna be a green, bright greeny day. Okay. It's ironic because the actual word that I'm changing there is shiny. So at the end there, like, I replaced the word shiny. Like, I could have kept the word shiny and it would have been relevant. But oh well. Anyway, Bark. Let's see. It's fascinating how thoroughly British they made almost every... Yeah, the Galar Pokemon and the Pokemon that already existed that they put in Galar... There's so many good references. There's a video from Loxton and Noggin about, like, how, you know, like, the origin of every Pokemon that's in the Galar Pokedex. I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. And I know when I said Lays, I was like the flower thing, not the potato chips. But yes. But yeah, like flowers and sparkles. That's all good. Flowers and sparkles. Sparkles and flowers. Like, all good stuff. Hang on. Smeargle. You're just a regular Smeargle. Yeah, this might be a wee bit of a slower shiny hunt, mightn't it? We'll have to see. I feel like the more I go north, the fewer Comfeys we're gonna find, because look, we're now finding like Zangoose and Execute, but we'll go this way just to see if we can find a Cottony, because Cottony, I believe, is more northernly. Oh, there's Sourcebuck and Deerling. I thought I had a speck of dirt on my TV then, but I genuinely don't know. Okay, right, here's Cottony. So we'll look for Cottony instead. Cottony's like a little bit easier. So let's look for Cottony instead. And plus we can get Ceruledge on the case here. Detective Surledge is on the case. Okay, just to thin out the herd and the horde a little bit. I believe we got Cottony before, so like we only need like a second Cottony, or a Whimsicott. Because like, say like last time we got Doug Trio, but that meant that like we had to get Diglett this week, you know? Whereas before we got Cottony, but so now we can either just get another Cottony or a Whimsicott, and then that works. So let's see what we've got here. And hopefully we will be able to find... I actually might ride on Koraidon for this. Just because by getting that higher angle, we'll be able to... By getting, like, say, this kind of an angle, we might just be able to see them that little bit more easily and stuff like that. Okay. Let's all hope for Beau's luck to blossom. I thought you were going to joke there about how we got to blossom last time. I thought when I first started reading that, I thought you were going to say, like, watch, you'll get, like, a shiny blossom instead. But yes. Okay. So let's have a look. Now, Cottony is a bit easier to spot than Whimsicott, just because with Whimsicott we would need to look at, like, its face. Whereas with Cottony, we'll kind of be able to see it regardless of whether we're seeing it from, like, the front, the side, or the behind. So we'll have to see. But hopefully we get something today. If we only get Diglett, then next week really might be, like, our final shiny hunt, you know? And then we will have to move on to Luigi's Mansion 3. But yeah, like, two random, like, so basically, I, like, have a big thing that I want to start doing from, like, say, once I'm done with everything in April onwards. Like, I have something which, like, I won't have to worry about streaming for ages, kind of thing. But, like, until then, though, I will need to think of, like, smaller things to do, to fill the void. And, like, Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of them. I think another one I did mention, but was Earthbound. I don't know why, because, like, Earthbound is, like, you know, it's like it can get a bit grindy and stuff like that at times. But I don't know, like, it's fun, and a lot of you guys might not have ever seen it before. So, or played it before or anything. I mean, yeah, a lot of you might not have played Luigi's Mansion either, but like, and to be honest, I'm not, like, some huge Earthbound guy in a way, but it might be a fun one to play on stream and do voices for and stuff. I don't know. But I don't know. But again, I don't know how long it would take. It might be longer than Luigi's Mansion. So yeah, we'll have to see. But okay, let's see what we got here. Right, Cottony, you're not shiny. Or Whimsicott, sorry, you're not shiny. But what was it? I feel like there was one thing I was gonna say about Xenoblade. Oh no, I remember the other thing I was gonna say about Xenoblade, because I always end up coming back to Xenoblade, even though I'm like, I wanna move on from Xenoblade now. But yes, right. But yeah, would you guys be okay with, like, those two games? One of the other things I did think of, see, it's just hard, because one thing I would love to do is I would love to play the Donkey Kong Country games on stream, because they're good fun. I wouldn't be able to check chat a whole lot during them, but, like, you know, but I could do, like, 4 weeks, like Donkey Kong Country games would be, like, 4 weeks of streams. Like, right there or something, because, like, the first 2 games I could do each in 1 stream, and then the third game I'd probably want to split up into, like, 2 streams. But the thing is, if I do 4 streams, it's like, okay, but that's then, like, then you would need to maybe, say if I had, like, 8 weeks worth of streams to fill, if I did, like, 4 weeks of them, I would then need to find, like, another 4-week project kind of thing. And then it's like, oh, I don't know if I have another 4-week project. With Luigi's Mansion 3 and Earthbound would probably be just that little bit longer. Like, they probably would be, like, 6 to 8 weeks or something. Well, Luigi's Mansion would be at least 4. Donkey Kong, I know, would be, like, only 4 tops, whereas Luigi's Mansion 3 would be at least 4. So it's just hard to know, like, how to stretch things out and stuff like that, and yeah. Unless I did shiny hunting in a different Pokemon game. Like, okay, we're gonna hunt for this thing that I never got, but it's only in Pokemon Sword. And like maybe I'll do like my first ever egg hatching stream or something like that, you know. Okay. Anyway, Bark. Let's see, Cottonies and Whimsicots and Cottonies. So we're looking for an autumn-colored Cottony and a blue-colored Whimsicott. I can't remember if the cloud is a different color, but basically instead of green, like you can see how that's got like green at the back and then there's these little green bits here. For a Whimsicott, that would be blue instead, like a light blue, like a sky blue. And then for Cottony, the leaves will be like orangey, like autumn colored. So, but that's the thing, because Cottony has the leaves sticking out of the side, it means regardless of whether we're looking at it from the front or the back or the side, we'll be able to see it. Whereas with Whimsicott, we kind of want to be looking at either the front or the back, but preferably the front. So that's why I prefer seeing Cottonies everywhere rather than Whimsicotts. Right, 19 minutes left. Next week, Beau is going to go hunting for shiny humans. Oh, good golly gosh. But yes. Okay, I keep mistaking this Toucanon for a Cottony because it had like red on it, red and orange on its beak. Oh no, for the love of Nelly. But oh well. Okay. Come on, come on. Right. Let's see. Gloom, gloom, gloom. Right. Cottony, 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 Cottony. So Cottony, okay, so in England, there is a soap called Coronation Street. I do apologize to those of you in England who know about Coronation Street. And in it is, or at least was, I don't know if he's still in it, but there was an actor called Anthony Cotton. He played a character called Sean, I want to say. I haven't watched Coronation Street for over a decade. But so there was this actor, it was like Sean Tully or something like that. But there's this actor, Anthony Cotton. Oh, I forgot to give the cats extra food so that they wouldn't meow during the stream. And now Sila's meowing during the stream. Although he would have done that anyway. But yeah, I normally give them like a second breakfast on Saturdays so that they stop talking. I may need to pause in a sec just to feed him. And because Cowbell didn't come in this morning, actually, now that I think about it. So I'll need to check. I think he got let out in the middle of the night, though, so, like, he should be good, but... right, okay. But anyway, but there was a character called Anthony Cotton, and so Cottony always sort of sounds like a mixture of those two names to me. Like, you take the end of the first name and the beginning of the second, and, like, Cottony, Anthony Cotton, like... so that's just kind of always what I think of when I think of Cottony. But... Tenchi, your nan on your dad's side was obsessed with Coronation Street. Shibertooth, hello! Welcome. Kevin, you got to go already? No! Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. I will see you on the next one, hopefully. But thank you for joining. Okay. Okay, so chat, now that we've found Cottony, can we do, like, I don't know, leaves, what actually happens if you type in, like, cotton or earbuds or... Is there, like, a cotton emoji or, like, a fluffy, you know, like, sort of fluffy emoji or something? I don't know. But if we could have, like, some kind of, like, leaves, cotton, fluff, and sparkles, and maybe orange hearts, that would be really cool. Maybe also the light blue hearts as well for Whimsicott. Maybe those could be the emojis. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun finding out what they are. A fluffy cloud emoji would be the clever... If I were clever, that's what I would have said. Yes, Satella. Yes. Yeah, you could just have a fluffy cloud. I wondered if there was something like a dandelion or something like that. I think is kind of what I was trying to grasp at, but a cloud is honestly better. Again, this is why I say things like I don't really think I'm that clever. But yeah, clouds, leaves, orange and light blue hearts. Only the light blue ones, not dark blue. Yeah. Oh, there's some little wispy leaf things. Oh, that's quite fun. Oh, I like that. Okay, hopefully I took my eye off the screen for 1 second there, and I'm like, I hope I didn't miss anything. Nope. Dang. Right, let's see. So the cat is meowing. How long do we have left? 50. Okay. We'll see if I can get to the end of this hunt. If he gets unbearable between now and the end of this hunt, then I will, like, emergency go feed him. But we'll see if he can hold on for 15 minutes. Because he might be able to. I say that. I mean, he's such a bad cat that he probably won't. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll believe in him to behave. Even though he has no real past precedent record for doing that. Okay. So let's see what we've got. Oh, I know one thing I was going to say, and of course I say this after Kevin leaves. But Xander can still appreciate this, and my other Xenoblade peeps. No, I don't think I got to say this last week. I meant to say this last week. I think I did know this last week, but I forgot to end up saying it. So yeah, now that I'm like all done with Xenoblade, I like looked up the voice actors and stuff, and so I did that. I believe I did start saying, but one of the main things I didn't get to say, even though I really wanted to say it, was it was really interesting looking up the bad guy, Zed, who was played by an actor called Harry Lloyd. And as soon as I saw the name Harry Lloyd, I was like, Harry Lloyd, I know that name. And it's not just because it's like, oh, it's a bit of a, you know, sorry to like insult his name, but like it's a bit, you know, it's a bit of like a generic name. It's not like the most standout name. Harry is a fairly typical first person's name, and Lloyd is a fairly typical surname. But I was like, Harry Lloyd, I know that. Where do I know that from, though? But I didn't, like, look it up right away. But once I was done with the game, I looked it up. Because I wanted to, you know, because you should never really look up a voice cast whilst you're playing a game. Because it just, oh, you can just get so many spoilers by looking up, like, the voices in a game. But, like, you know, and I've been burned on that. Like, Xenoblade 1, definitely don't do it during Xenoblade 1. That is a game where you will get burned if you look up the voices, but like whilst you're playing it. But Xenoblade 3, once I was done with it, I looked up the voices, and I saw Zed was played by Harry Lloyd, and I was like, who is Harry Lloyd? I know that. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's who it is. I know who that is. And fans of Doctor Who, and who are fans of like the original David Tennant era of Doctor Who. If you remember the excellent two-part episodes, which I can't remember what they were both called, but I remember one of them was The Family of Blood, which again, Doctor Who fans will know the Family of Blood pair of episodes. There were these really good episodes, and they are like often cited as among like some of the best since the show has been revived and even like ever. But Family of Blood, and there's this really sort of there's basically this really creepy family of people. I'll explain the plot of the episode like in a minute. But there was this really creepy character, and like he like never blinks, and he was really good and very like unsettling. Like Baines, I believe was his name, and but he was played by Harry Lloyd. So basically, this sort of excellent like Doctor Who baddie made for an excellent Xenoblade baddie. So there you go. So I mean, Doctor Who is quite a good place for scouting out Xenoblade villains when you actually like look into it and stuff like that. But yeah. So if you're a fan of Doctor Who and you know the Family of Blood episodes and you remember like the main boy, the leader, like Baines. He's the bad guy in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And if you played both, if you know both those things, but you didn't know that reference, then there you go. Very cool stuff. So Sylar has fat cat energy. He does. Hang on a sec. Sorry, is my stream like extremely laggy? I'm just gonna check one thing. Is my stream like really laggy, or is that just my preview? It looked like the preview looks tremendously laggy, like really laggy. If it is, I do apologize. I don't know why. Unless I like left a load of the stuff that I downloaded onto the computer this week. That like it's a little bit better there, but yeah, that's like not good. I don't know what's causing that. I might have to do like some scans and like a defrag and like a disk cleanup and stuff like that. Maybe like me transferring stuff onto this computer this week, because like I don't know, maybe there's some stuff left over that I haven't got rid of, and maybe there's like less space on the hard drive or something, and that's why it's a bit slow. Although it seems a bit better. It's not like bad. Like just a minute ago, it was like absolutely atrocious. Like it's not ideal now, but it is better than it was a minute ago. But okay, that was weird. That was very weird. Like it was so bad, I was able to notice it out of the corner of my eye. I do apologize, but yeah. Okay, well, I mean, unfortunately, there's like kind of nothing I can do about it, which kind of sucks. But if it gets, basically, if the audio gets bad, that's kind of the main thing, honestly. But we'll have to see. But yeah, so that was fun finding out about, because the third season of Doctor Who is my favorite season. The one with Martha Jones, that's my favorite season, and the Family of Blood episodes are from that season. Yeah, but it's such a good pair of episodes. Very good premise. The premise is basically you are taken to like a school in like, I believe it's like the early 1900s, I want to say. Although it might have been more around World War II. It was either like around World War II or World War I. But you're like in a school in England in that time frame, and you see David Tennant as an English teacher in a school, sort of thing. Like it's David Tennant, but like he is John Smith, a teacher in a World War I or II English school kind of thing. And then there is also, like, Martha, who is a cleaner at the school. And neither of them, are sort of behaving normally in a way. Like, neither of the, like, he is John Smith, the teacher, and she is Martha, the cleaner. And you're kind of like, what's going on? So you're kind of just, like, following these two people who, they look like the Doctor and his companion, but they are not calling themselves the Doctor or the companion. And yeah, even when like David Tennant's guard is down and stuff, you're like, he's gonna whop out the sonic screwdriver here. Like, nope, he's John Smith in his on time, and he's John Smith in his off time, and so you kind of like learn a bit about this man, and you see him getting a bit like flirtatious with like I don't know, she's like a nurse at the school or something. I can't remember what her occupation is, but he like starts to this teacher John Smith starts to like fall in love with like this woman and stuff. So so you're kind of, as a viewer, you're like watching it, kind of being like, what the heck's going on? Where's my Doctor Who kind of thing? And then basically you kind of realize, like, you see Martha go into the TARDIS, like the TARDIS is like stashed away, and you see Martha like sneak off to the TARDIS. So like she does remember who she is. Like, she is just pretending to not be a time traveler. But you find out that David Tennant is like, well, he's sort of faking it, but not faking it. By which I mean he like biologically has like changed himself into a human so that he is not detectable as a Time Lord, because they are basically sort of evading a bunch of aliens who are after them. There are like this bad group of aliens who want to get their hands on a Time Lord, and so David, like the Doctor, is determined to not let them do that. So they like hide away in like World War I or II England, disguising himself as a human, even on like a biological level, disguising himself as a human. And yeah, like, and so you find out that, yeah, they're kind of just like on the run, but then like the aliens catch up to them, and the aliens like inhabit people kind of thing, like they take over a person. So there's basically this sort of group of like 4 local villagers who get taken over by these like 4 aliens, and the aliens like kind of hunt for the doctor, and they kind of, you know, they know they're on the scent, but they can't find him because there's not an actual Time Lord anywhere and stuff like that. And it's just an excellent story. It's this excellent story of watching this man who doesn't know that he's actually like this extraordinary being, whilst these aliens are like kind of hunting him. It's such a good story. But yeah, so okay, I'm just checking the lag quickly. Okay, we're not too bad again. Okay, yeah, my OBS says we should be fine. So, right, how many minutes? Oh my gosh, we've got 5 minutes left. Oh, chat, this has been not a good day for the shinies. Spam those emojis now. Like, maybe we'll go back to the cum phase. I don't know. Yeah, we'll go back to cum phase. Spam like lays and leaves and orange and light blue and green and, well, maybe not green, but yeah, no, don't do green. Actually, none of the shinies we want are green. But like, but yeah, but yeah. So these like aliens are kind of like hunting for the doctor, and they find him, and basically the lead one, he takes over like one of the older boys at the school. And he's played by this Xenoblade Chronicles 3 villain, and he's excellent. He's excellent in Doctor Who, and he's excellent in Xenoblade. So thank you, Harry Lloyd, for your service to for your service to the acting profession. Right, okay, let's see if we can find a Comfey. And I mean, hey, we might find like some Cottonies on the way, but we'll switch back to Comfey now. Because, like, just, man, I don't know, man. Where the heck did I... Okay. So I think if I go this way... Here we go. If I go this way, we'll hopefully find some Comfeys. Let's see what we find. Okay. These are Zangoose and Slackoths, so that's not what we want. Here are a bunch of Slackoths. None of them are purple. I did one time find a purple one. That was kind of cool. Okay, come on. Comfey. Where is Comfey? Where is Comfey? No, you're Execute. You're Muck. You're Survivor. Oh my gosh. Where the heck are the Comfeys? I thought they were like here. Sawsbug. Survivor. Were they over here? Hang on. Oh, do we need to go like further south? Do I need to be like over here? Oh, we'll find out. Goblin thing! Hi, hello, welcome. Okay. Okay, here are the Comfeys. Okay, good. Okay, good. Right. Right, Ceruledge, just mow all these things down. With my apologies to Hawaii. Okay, green. Whew, okay, getting stressed by having to find shinies before the timer counts down. Right, Comfey. Comfey. Oh, no, this shiny hunt can't be so boring. We gotta have a less boring shiny hunt. But, oh, no, Comfey may be one we have to do in handheld, because, like, you have to inspect them just that little bit too closely for it to be practical as a stream. I don't know how I was gonna finish that sentence. A stream hunt. Let's see. Right, you're green. Are you green? Yeah, you're green. Any blue ones? Any blue ones? Any blue ones? Okay, you are not blue. You are not blue. It's just hard because they got like the green and the yellow. Right, you're green and yellow. Oh, hang on. These guys have all just gathered right next to me. They all look like they're green. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe the trick is to get them all to gather around me. Let's see. Green with yellow, green with yellow, green with yellow. Green with yellow? Yep. These look green with yellow. I can tell from a distance. Okay. I know Cottony is like the easier one to get, but we can get Cottony in a minute with like a grass sandwich, I'm sure. And then we can like hopefully maybe get Oddish as well, and then that'll work and be a good thing. Let's see. Nope, they're all green. Green, 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 green. We do not want green. We don't want green on our Cottony. We don't want green on our... You know, you're green and yellow. I can see. You're green and yellow. How long do we have left? Oh, 4 seconds. Oh. Chat. Chat, 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 chat. Okay, we'll just check. I can see one over here, so we'll just check that this guy's not shiny. And would you believe it? It's not shiny. Okay. I think that's... Okay, there's... We're seeing Oricorios. I think that's probably it. Okay. Well, we know we saved beforehand. That was good, at least. So, okay. That sucked. That was a bit disappointing. I do apologize. So, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oy, 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 oy. Okay. So, let's not panic. Let's not lose our heads. Let's double down. Regroup. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can get rid of Diglett from my magical list of things. But I still can't get rid of Cottony or Comfey. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. Who do we need to get? So we can get rid of Diglett. There we go. Diglett dig. Diglett dig. It's gone now. Okay. So right, we're gonna hunt for Oddish and for Cottony, but I'm gonna get Silas some food. So hold on. I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. He's going nuts. Silas. Okay, I'm back. That was quicker than I thought. In fact, actually, I actually took even longer than the short amount of time that I thought I was going to take, because I was like, maybe I should try and find something to nibble on myself, but I didn't like bake any. It's annoying. I have some cookies left over that I could have baked up for this stream just to kind of have, but I didn't do that, and I don't really have anything else that's snacky that I could do. I really do need to look at like making some flapjack or, you know, oat thing, because I really like an oat bar or something like that. Okay, So what we're gonna do? Okay, we're gonna do grass type sandwich. It's a bit annoying doing a grass type sandwich because this uses our very precious commodity of the salty Herba Mystica. So we're going to go creative mode, lettuce. We're going to do 1 salty, 1 sour. So we're down to 1 salt. So if this works, if we do get like shiny grass types here, they have to be the shiny grass types we like actually want to capture, you know? We cannot afford to have... we cannot afford to get like, you know, the bajillionth shiny execute. So we'll have to see how this goes. Okay, let me just check the quality of the stream. It says it's going at 30 FPS. So that's about right. Wow, no, that looks a bit slow. But oh well. It's as long as it's doing what it is now, that's fine. Okay. It's so crazy because it says dropped frames 0, and it's like, my dude, my bro, my guy, I saw how many frames you were dropping. Like, you were dropping frames all over the place. Don't lie to me. Okay, so we are now on the hunt for, I guess, Oddish and Cottony. Oh, there's Blossom. Blossom's back, baby. No, okay, so what we're gonna do... Hang on. I'm just gonna cut out the middleman here. We're gonna go to the north. Okay. So I think Comfey is probably better for a, you know, just private shiny hunt, like by myself, an off-screen shiny hunt. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We're not actually spawning any. Oh, I know that. I was like, is that an execute? I was like, I just see flowers. It's like, yes, it's execute. I'm a bit worried, actually, that this isn't going to be very good at spawning Oddish, but we'll have to see. Because we're getting Dealing, we're getting Cottony, but I kind of want, like, I kind of want, like, Oddish, Gloom. In fact, okay, so one of the Pokemon I did get this week was Oddish, so I actually do have a shiny Oddish now, but I need to get, like, Gloom and Vileplume. So in all honesty, one of the things I probably should kind of be doing is I probably should be kind of running around, because running around might spawn like a group of Gloom. Oh no, don't do that. But if you run around, you like this, right? See, like, so I just got like a Vileplume and a bunch of Glooms, right? I could also get Exeggutor as well, though, is the only issue. But the only problem with running around is that it is a bit... I was going to say, that's a shiny Cottony! Yes! All right! Okay, the sandwich was worth it. The sandwich was worth it. Do you evolve a Cottony by trading, or does it evolve by level up? I actually can't remember. Let me check my thing. I have a horrible feeling it's a trade. Oh, it's a Sunstone. Okay, we can evolve this at the end of the stream then. Nice. And look, I can now get rid of Cottony and Whimsicott from my thing. This is brilliant. There we go. Okay, so I just had to make, like, the good sandwich. And then I just had to run around. I always say, like, oh, you gotta be careful when you're running around on your Koraidon or Miraidon. And here we are. So, yeah, so it's a Sunstone. I always forget, like, I think one of the things is like, Gen 5 is where my brain starts to get, like, a little bit mixed up with some things. So, like, for example, I kind of confuse Gen 5 and Gen 6 Pokemon a lot. And I know that's really weird, because it's like, well, didn't Gen 5 have sprites and Gen 6, like, not have sprites? And it's like, that should make the difference, but there are some Pokemon that, like, something like Cryogonal, I remember, like, hunting one of those in Gen 6 kind of thing, like, near the 7th gym or whatever. And so, like, Cryogonal, I kind of forget was, like, a Gen 5 Pokemon. And I know, like, Bryson had one, but, like, you know, it's like it's like a gym that I fought once, like, you know, what, like, a decade ago? Like, I don't remember that, you know? So, yeah. Let's see what we've got here if we run around. Can we get some Glooms? So, like, there's a Gloom. that's the thing. So I have Oddish, so it's actually okay if we like saw like Gloom and Vileplume instead. But I don't think. Yeah, we're not getting a whole lot of spawns. You are a deerling. Okay, we've got loads of deerling here. I fear if I go down here, we're just going to see executes, but we'll see. Right, Cottony. It's a name you should know. But yeah, Gen 5 is where my brain starts to kind of forget stuff a bit, or it might get confused about things. Like, I will never, like, say a Gen 4 Pokemon, like, isn't Gen 4 or something, or Gen 3 isn't Gen 3, or Gen 2 isn't Gen 2. Like, you know, some people, like, I've heard things like people will think that, like, I've heard things where people will think that, say, like, Houndoom is, like, a Gen 3 Pokemon, because, like, it was, like, more available in, like, Emerald than it was in, like, you know, it was more, like, easily accessible in Emerald than it was in, like, Gold and Silver or something like that. But, like, or what was the other one? There are, like, a couple where, or I think there are, like, a couple of Pokemon that were, like, from Gen 3, but you can more easily get them in Gen 4. I don't know, maybe things like Chimecho and stuff like that, because it also had Chingling. So, like, you know, people get confused, but I will never, like, get confused about, like, the first, like, 4 generations. I can look at a Pokemon and tell you, or you can give me a Pokemon and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's from such and such or whatever. But once you get to Gen 5, that is where I maybe start to mix them up, because, like, Gen 5 and Gen 6 kind of, for me, like, are when things blur into one another. And again, that's different for, like, everyone. I think I've had some people say about, like, Gen 6 and 7, they kind of, you know, kind of blur them together, which is fair because they're, like, both 3DS games. Like, it's totally a fair thing. Like, I do get why people blur them. Like, when I say, like, oh, some people, like, say, like, oh, like, Medicham. I think some people think, like, Meditite and Medicham are, like, Gen 4, I've heard. Although that one I'm a bit more confused about, because they're quite easy to get. And like, Brawly had, hang on, why are you not attacking? There are no shinies here. Unless there is a shiny here and I just can't see it. But yeah, like, so there are some Pokemon, like, I get it. I get why people confuse their generation. But that for me is totally, like, Gen 5 and Gen 6. Just something about, I don't know, I guess the time in my life when I played them and stuff like that, you know, and they were probably, like, perhaps, like, a little bit more rushed experiences for me or something. I maybe wasn't able to really sit down and enjoy them as much as I could have. Although for Gen 5 I feel I did, but maybe for, like, Black and White 2, that might have been a bit more of a forgotten experience. Like, I know it's a good game, but I just can't really remember a whole lot about it now. And I've sort of talked about how X and Y are unfortunately, like, my least favorite games, just because like, they came at, like, a crummy time in my life and I just wasn't able to, like, play them and stuff. I was doing, like, temp work and just not able to play them. But anyway, but, like, hang on. Most remember Skarmory and Skarmory, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Gen 3. Because that's the thing, if you had, like, Pokemon Gold or Silver, whichever one it's not in, and then you played, you know, Gen 3, yeah, that must be a bit of a weird one. Yeah, and Goblin thing. Yeah, if you had a Whimsicott and you didn't trade. Although, I think, though, in the games, one of the reasons why I may think it's, like, a trade Pokemon is because I think in one of the Black and White games, you can get a traded Whimsicott. You can, like, trade for a Cottony, and then you could evolve it into a Whimsicott. There is, like, a traded one, I feel like. Although maybe that's in a different game. I don't know, man. I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself now. But still. But yeah, Gen 5 and Gen 6 is definitely where that happens for me. And I think maybe I'm, like, confusing. There's, like, Cottony and Petilil. Oh, no, it's raining, which means all the Cottony are, like, blowing away. Oh, that's not good. I mean, hey, at least this means that, like, Oddish might appear more, but that still kind of sucks. Sorry, I actually thought I saw an Oddish there, but okay, maybe not. Sorry, the game is a bit laggy there, not the feed. So if things are a bit laggy there, that was just the game being slow. Because the game has actually been really good for me today. I haven't really had any or much lag or anything. Maybe that's because we've had to turn off a couple of times to reset. So it hasn't like got to build up and have issues. But still. But I think maybe, you know, there's like Cottony and Whimsicott, but then also there's like Carablast and Shelmet, and like Carablast and Shelmet are trade evolutions. And then, but I never really got to like use them or have them, and I kind of remember catching them in like Gen 6 as well. Like there are a few Pokemon where they were in Gen 5, and I remember, but I like remember obtaining them in Gen 6, and so I kind of don't really think about them hugely as being like Gen 5. So let's see. Okay, there's a Whimsicott. Well, we don't need Whimsicott now though. We just need Oddish. So I tell you what, chat. If we don't get any Oddishes here, if we don't get any Oddish here, maybe we could do a Poison type sandwich, and then I don't know. That could be like one of our final ones or something. Oh, there goes. I hope none of those Cottony are shiny. Oh, there it goes. Dang weather. No, thank goodness we don't need Cottony. But yeah, so I don't know why there's obviously something in my head that I kind of confuse Whimsicott with. I do think maybe it's Carablast and Shelmet. But then maybe there's like some other Pokemon from like Gen 5 or 6 where you like need to trade for them or something to evolve them. Or you get a traded one, like the in-game trade, but I don't know. Maybe that's why I confuse it, but yeah, I just always forget. I think here's the funny thing though. If you said how do you evolve a Petilil, I'd be like, oh, it's like a Sunstone or something, right? It's like level up maybe, but I think it is like a Sunstone. Otherwise, it's like level up. I wouldn't tell you it's trade, but for some reason, I always think Cottony is a trade Pokemon, and I think maybe it is because there was like an in-game trade for one at some point. But again, I know that's really weird. I know that sort of doesn't quite make sense, but hopefully it kind of makes sense. Yeah. But yeah. So... Oh yeah, so actually, question for you guys in chat. Are there any Pokemon... Are there any Pokemon that you get confused for being in a generation, like you're like, oh yeah, I always forget this Pokemon was like this generation or whatever. And or do you ever kind of confuse, or is there kind of like, say, like a pair of generations where you start to kind of confuse things? Like, say you, like, if you, like we sort of said, you know, like there are people who, they're like some Gen 2 Pokemon, people think of Gen 3. So is like Gen 2 and 3 where you conflate things in your head and you get them a bit mixed up or something, or like Gen 4 and 5. Like, do you confuse Gen 4 and 5 because like they're both on the DS and they both had those sort of DS-looking sprites? Do you perhaps confuse Gen 6 and 7 because they were both on the 3DS or whatever? You know, like, let me know if there are any, like, I confused this Pokemon for being this generation, or like I kind of get these two generations a bit mixed up in my head, like I kind of lump them in the same part of my brain storage. Let me know. I'm gonna have a sip of water. So Zach says 6 and 7. Tenchi says Marrow, Slugma, you always mix up which gens they're from. So do you think they're Gen 3 because they were quite easily obtainable in Gen 3? Is that why you say Marrow and Slugma? MTT MP43, hello, but also bye. And Anne, you've got to go too. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And like and subscribe, even though you've all left. I should have said that. MTT MP43, you don't even know the generation. That's okay. Not a problem at all. That's not a bad thing. So I didn't know if I was going to like hiccup there or burp or what. So I was like, just hang on, wait for it. Is that? Oh, I thought that was a shiny Zangoose for a second. It looked blue. It looked blue in the moonlight, but no. the balloon light, if you will. Okay, so yeah. I tell you what, chat. Hang on, how long have we got left on this hunt? 17 minutes. Okay. Would you mind? We'll do this shiny hunt, right? We'll see what shinies we get, and then maybe we'll do like one more hunt after this, and then call that it. And I know that means this stream will be a bit short. But I have, like, mistimed my food and eating today. Like, today I actually am hungry, which is good. And I don't want to ignore that. And I want to, like, cook my food and have some proper dinner and stuff. And then it means that, like, I don't know, next week we can hunt for some other things. Like, I have some ideas for shinies that, like, could be some quite good ones. But, like, you know, I feel like they're better to be done all together or whatever. So, and I also need to double check where they are. But would that maybe sound okay? Again, it depends how well this hunt goes, or if we start building up a bunch of momentum, then we can be like, oh, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do the thing. But like, but I don't know, if we just don't really have a whole lot of luck, maybe we'll just kind of call today you know, we'll give today an L, we'll call it an L, and reconvene next week. And then maybe next week might end up being like, you know, the final shiny hunt. No, won't be like the final shiny hunt. We'll do other shiny hunts, I'm sure, but it might be one of those things where doing shiny hunts on stream. Oh, shiny execute. I do have shiny execute, unfortunately, but I'll take it. So fun fact about shiny execute. In, like, Pokemon... It's either, like, Pokemon Sun and Moon, but I think it's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. There is, like, a random trainer who has a shiny Execute. Who has a shiny Execute. And so it gets added to, like, your Pokedex, right? That, like, you have seen a shiny Execute. And if you connect your game to Pokemon Bank... your Pokemon Bank, like, has a sort of Pokedex registered to it kind of thing. Like, it kind of registers your Pokedex, like, sort of links your Pokedex with the game. And so your Pokemon Bank will have, your Pokemon Bank will kind of have, like, some recollection of you encountering a shiny Execute. And then, if you connect your Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home, which was Pokemon Bank's replacement. So if you have, like, Pokemon... if you have Pokemon Home that you've connected to your Pokemon Bank, and your Pokemon Bank was connected to your Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which had seen the shiny Execute, you'll get... If you look at your Pokemon Home, and you're like, Pokemon Home, show me my shiny Pokedex kind of thing, it will show you a shiny Execute. And I remember a couple of years ago when I first, like, shiny hunted and I was doing, like, Pokemon Let's Go, and I wanted to see, like, you know, oh, what shinies do I have? And I saw a shiny Execute, and I was like, I don't have shiny Execute? Wait, did I see a shiny Execute? Like, I was like, wait, no, and then I was so confused. And I remembered about the Ultra Sun and the Ultra Moon and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, it's because of the thing. Because of the 3DS. Ow. So that was like a fun... That was just like a fun random thing. But yeah, so there are a load of people out there who on their Pokemon Home, if they go on Pokemon Home and they go on, like, the Pokedex section and they check, and then they check, like, the shiny filter, they'll have an Execute there and they'll be like, I don't have an Execute. So it's funny. So I did recently finally get an Execute, and I was like, finally, I actually, like... Well, I think I actually did get an Execute on Pokemon Let's Go, but I evolved it. I did eventually do that. I did eventually get one, but then I evolved it. Don't know why I evolved it, but I did. So I had... Oh, hang on. I thought... Oh, dang, I thought that Chikorita was shiny then. That would have been a cool one. But yeah, so I did, so I had Exeggutor, but I just didn't have, like, a spare Execute kind of thing. So yeah, so recently I did get a shiny Execute whilst just like walking around. Grookey, hello. Getting a shiny one of you would be fun, because we did sort of try for you. But oh, okay, hang on, we're back to Blossoms. Hang on, are any of these Blossom shiny? It's kind of hard to tell with the dark lighting. Okay, we don't want more shiny Blossoms. Oh my gosh. So we're gonna go back up here. You're sad that eggs being in the basket wasn't a Gen 8 thing. But yes, golden eggs. Like that's saying literally like shiny eggs. Okay. Right, so we're gonna do a bit of the old uppity downity downity uppity, walkity roundity. Hang on, can I? There we go. We want like a kind of high up angle, because if we have the kind of high up angle, it works quite well for being able to kind of see the Pokemon amongst the grass and stuff. So yeah. Hang on a minute. No, that's Cottony. Dang it! But yeah, so I did get Oddish this week. I did get Execute a few weeks ago. And then, yeah. But that's the thing, but I now need Gloom and Vileplume. So I do need more Oddishes. So maybe we'll do like a poison type sandwich to like really hone in on the Oddishes. You can still get Grimer, and I did actually get a shiny Alolan Grimer this week as well, which is sort of, you know, a bit of a shame. But I did get one Oddish, so that was good at least. But maybe if we do the Poisson sandwich, then we can get... If we do that, then maybe we can get our... Is that another one? That's another one. There we go. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can evolve into a Alolan Exeggutor in this game. But like at this rate, we're getting enough to get like the whole Execute set in this one stream alone. Oh, Marill and Misdreavus. Yeah, Misdreavus is one as well. That yeah, like Morty didn't have a Misdreavus, even though he should have. So like Misdreavus was only available at like the end of the game or whatever in Gen 2. So yeah, that's like a real... Again, Gen 2 just dropped the ball in so many ways. I'm sorry to say it. Like I like Gen 2. Gen 2 is good. But like it really, there's so much that like I don't like criticizing games for like stuff they didn't do, like stuff they could have done. But I feel, the reason I feel like I can with Gen 2 is because it's like, but you it's like they made other choices instead. Like, it's like, if you're gonna have 8 gym leaders, give those gym leaders Johto Pokemon and not Kanto ones, you know? Like, it's not like, like, when I say use Johto Pokemon, like, oh, the Johto games didn't use Johto Pokemon, it's like, because they used Kanto Pokemon instead. Like, they should have switched out again. So it's like, it's not like it was missing... When I say it was missing Johto Pokemon, it's not that it's really actually missing something. It's that it's choosing something, an odder, weirder thing to have in favor. And that's weird. You know, like, they chose to use Kanto Pokemon instead of Johto Pokemon. So when I say, like, oh, it was like they didn't use any Johto Pokemon, that doesn't, like, mean, like, it was missing Pokemon. It was like, no, they just opted to use other ones instead, and I think they opted to do the wrong things. And in fairness, like, my beloved Gen 3, you know, Ruby and Sapphire weren't the best in the world for doing this. Like, they had, you know, like, if you look at, like, Flannery, she has, like, what, like, 2 Slugmas and a Torkoal? And it's like one of those Slugmas could have been a Numel, you know, like you got this brand new fire type, but in fairness, a lot of the Team Magma people use Numel, so maybe that's one of the reasons why they decided to do that. But, like, we are so going to get a shiny Alolan Exeggutor. Like, it's going to happen. And if we do, I'm going to evolve one of the Executes into a regular Exeggutor. Like, we'll do that for fun, for the memes. But yeah. Anyway, Bark. But let's see if we can get an Oddish. Let's see if we can get Oddish. And then watch, we'll do the Poison Sandwich. We won't get Oddish. We'll do the Poison Sandwich so that we can hone in on Oddish a bit more. And then we'll end up getting shiny Muck and Grimer. That's how it'll be. Like, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Let's see. You're an Oddish, but not a shiny Oddish. Right, how long do we have left on this sandwich? 7 minutes. Okay, not ideal, but we can work with it. Right, Cottony. Let me just check chat super quickly. Right. I don't know if Tenchi is referencing Iggy there, but if you are, good reference. If we get 2 Gen 2 remakes, you hope the player characters are Kieran and Carmine. Or at least Kieran gets a cameo as the champion something. You can dream. But Neo, hi, welcome. You're going to go to bed now. Was on Carnival, and now your head hurts. Have fun for the rest of the stream. Well, have a good night. I hope your head hurt doesn't hurt for too long. Drink some water and have some of the not sponsor of this video, Z Probiotics. Z Probiotics. If you have it before having alcohol, it apparently helps. But I don't know because they don't sponsor me and I don't drink. So, yes. Okay. That's the thing. I don't really know how many people drink or don't drink. I don't really know how much of a thing or not it is. I know, like, when people get older, they tend to drink less and don't really have much drink anymore as they get older. But, like, that is a thing that happens to some people. But I just never did. For me, I've always liked the idea of having sort of... I don't drive either, but I like metaphorically, like, having both hands on the wheel. When people, like, wake up and they, like, don't remember a night before, that just sounds terrifying to me. I don't like that. I don't like the idea that I could wake up and not know what I've done or where I've been or anything like that. And I don't really like the idea of self-inflicting headaches and stuff like that. I don't know if Neo has a headache from drinking. I'm not explicitly saying that, by the way, or anything. I'm just saying, like, you know, if you've been to Carnival, people could be, you know, that is like a, you know, if I'm thinking of the right thing here, I mean, I could be on a wrong wavelength, but basically celebrations and the like, you know, celebrations and the like are often a time for drinking, and but I just never got into it, and those are the reasons why. You better hydrate as well, Beau. I better hear you slurp some water. Yes, Neo. Hang on, right, here's the water bottle cap opening, okay? I've actually got, like, a bottle that was left over from a session. Like you can hear the crack, right? That's, like, the seal breaking, and then here we go. Hang on. There you go. Hopefully you can hear that. Okay, there we go. Lovely stuff. Thank you for the reminder. I actually do appreciate that, because I hadn't had a drink in a while. Zach, first gym in Johto didn't use a hoot hoot. Exactly! That's my point! It's like Falconer didn't use a hoot hoot. Bugsy didn't use Spinarak or Leddybar or like Ariados or Ladion. Didn't, you know, there's also things like Heracross, but it's like, oh, well, Heracross could have been used in the fighting gym. Well, Chuck didn't use him. Oh, well, Heracross could have been used by Bruno. Bruno didn't use him, and I know you're not supposed to talk about Bruno, but I am, because, like, he could have used the Heracross. Good for Bruno, though, on having Hitmontop, as well as Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. That was good. Good stuff. He does actually have a pretty good... In fairness, Bruno actually does have a pretty good team. I will concede that. But I still think you know, you could have got rid of the Onyx in favor of a Heracross, but like Onyx, it kind of somehow became like his signature Pokemon, and like, okay, fine, you get to have the Onyx, okay, or you know, or the Steelix or whatever. So I can't remember if in Heart Gold Soul Silver they changed it to a Steelix, or maybe they did for like refights or something. I don't know, but anyway, Bark. But yeah, like Ruby and Sapphire, you know, they weren't the best for like, say, utilizing all the Pokemon, but like at least Roxanne had Nose Pass. At least Roxanne had Nose Pass. At least Brawly had Makuhita. You know, now Watson should have had Manectric, and there was no excuse for that. Like, no trainer. There was no like other trainer with a Manectric. Oh, for the love of Nelly. But just Gen 2, Michael David, like, just woke up, but, like, yeah, Gen 2 messed up the structure. Again, Gen 2 just messed up on a lot of things. Can't remember how I got onto that, but... Oh, no, because we were talking about, like, which Pokemon... So, Michael David, you just... welcome, for a start. So, one thing we were talking about earlier is we're talking about, like, generations that people kind of, like, confuse and mix up. Like, if there are any Pokemon where you're like, yeah, I always think this Pokemon's from this generation, or I always like confuse these two generations or something like that, right? Like we were talking about that, and we were saying, so that, you know, and we were saying about how in like Johto, in addition to how the gym leaders don't use Johto Pokemon, Johto itself doesn't even have Johto Pokemon native to Johto. Like there are all these Pokemon like Houndour and Mischievous and Tyranitar that are like you can only get at like the end of the game, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like, why would you be like, hey, catch like 100 new Pokemon, but then like have that like on the box or whatever, but then not let people catch them until they've got like 16 gym badges? It's just utter madness. So yeah, Gen 2's fun, but very, very flawed. Lunatone and Solrock, Tate and Liza. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, they're psychic types. Are Lunatone and Solrock the best psychic types? You know, like, but like it was a good way to show off psychic types and double battles. And yes, in Emerald they use a Xatu, but they also have Claydol. So I'm happy with that. You know, they didn't need to like say, you know, it's like, oh, well, you could have had like Medicham and Claydol. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but Brawly had Meditite, so like it's fine. But yeah, so I know Ruby and Sapphire weren't like the best either with like using, you know, again, Watson. They kind of dropped the ball with Watson, and like even with like Norman, you know, like Norman's Emerald team is so much better than his Ruby and Sapphire one, just because of like the variety and stuff like that. It still ticks the, hey, we're using new Pokemon box, but like, yeah, it could have been better. But yeah. So, and then who else have we got? And then Winona, like Winona's a good one. Like she uses lots of good Pokemon. Like I like Winona's team. That's good enough for me. Tate and Liza are good enough for me. And then Juan and Wallace, they're good enough for me. So again, like Wallace drops the ball. So again, Ruby and Sapphire like aren't perfect, but they're definitely like way better than Gold and Silver in terms of like showing off the new Pokemon and stuff like that, you know. So yeah. But yeah, Gen 2, like they didn't even make them catchable. I mean, I think we have talked about this a little bit before, but it is funny, like in each Pokemon game, it's funny how there are Pokemon where when they're first introduced, they're like very hard to obtain, but then once you get to like a couple of generations later, they're very easy to obtain. So some examples, I just saw a Toucanon, which probably means our sandwich has... Oh, nope, it hadn't... Okay, quick, spawn some Pokemon, Beau. Spawn some more! Spawn some more! Okay, I think that's it now, though. Okay. So we got a shiny. That means we didn't waste our sandwich, although we did only get one new shiny, which kind of sucked, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh, we can evolve... No, we don't want to evolve Diglett, but we do want to evolve Cottony. So hang on, let's evolve Cottony quickly. I do have another Cottony, and technically I should check, like, oh, which one's the better one? But no, we're doing this on stream. Let's see. Here we go. Sunstone! Cottony, there we go. Nothing beats Geeta sending out Glimora last. I know, like, it's so weird. She has one Pokemon that is primed for coming out last, King Gambit, and one Pokemon that is primed for coming out first, Glimora, and she has them, like, the other way around, and it's very weird. Very, very, very weird. And they shouldn't have done that, and they messed up, and it's kind of weird that, like, 9 generations in, they did that. Watson can end up with plus or minus. Oh, that would have been fun. Did they do that in Emerald in like rematches or something? Because I can't really remember the rematches. Again, it's been a long time since I've done like Emerald rematches or whatever. But okay, so let's do one more shiny hunt. Let's go for some poisson. Except when I say poisson, I don't actually mean fish. I actually mean poison. But I'm just being silly. But look, there's a Grimer. We are probably gonna get a lot of shiny Grimers, just a heads up. But let's make a bitter poison sandwich. I believe I know the recipe for a poison sandwich, so I'm not even going to look it up. I actually need to turn my phone on so I can look at like shiny Oddish and Gloom and stuff like that. Here we go. Even though I know what they look like, let's just do it so that we've got it and it's there as a reference. Okay. Right. Right, we're going to save the game 50 bajillion times, because that's what we do here at Bovio Games. Then we're going to make our picnic. A picnic basket. And then we're going to do whatever. Okay. Oh, I remember one other thing, actually, that I haven't talked about today. Make a sandwich. I did... When I ordered my USB stick thingamajig... my extra storage stick. I also ordered as well, because there's basically a thing I wanted to order, and then I was like, oh yeah, my Google Drive storage is getting short, maybe I should look into buying like a hard drive or a stick or something. But so I actually bought 2 things, because it was like, yeah, I need to get some things to just help my life be a bit more manageable or easier or whatever. So like one thing was the storage, and then the other was I did actually buy, or I have actually bought, but I haven't received it yet. I bought a like a therapy lamp, like a light therapy lamp, because as I sort of talked about, I struggle with SAD and I don't like it, and we've had like loads of rain here in LA, and it's kind of just been like a painful... Oh, crud. It's just... I don't know why that onion hasn't... Oh, dang. I jinxed it. I was going to say, I don't know why that onion hasn't vanished yet, but it vanished. Yeah, that's the thing. Not only did we say 50 bajillion times, we also look up the same shiny the same amount of times. Like, I know what they look like. They're very visibly distinguishable, but we still look them up anyway. But yeah, but I do, but again, these past few days have just reminded me how bad my SAD can be. Having like 3 days of like rain and just being like trapped indoors with like no sunlight coming in. And, right, Sparkling Encounter title. Excellent, good. So here's the Magic Trio. So, yes, so we are looking for... okay, so we're looking for Oddish and Gloom. So, like, those Gloom... And we are going to, like, run around because I think Gloom and Oddish do come in, like, little clusters of 5. But, Grimers do not. So, let's go... Hang on, we'll go over here. Okay, so there's Grimer. So we probably will get shiny Grimer, just like a heads up. But we might not. You know, we'll be optimistic. But I'm just saying, for like, you know, hilarity reasons, we're probably gonna get Grimers. Okay, there's... Oh, that's Oricorio. I was like, I see a different color. It's like, it's because it's Oricorio. So here we go. So yeah, And it's just for those who don't know about SAD or haven't heard of it or anything. SAD, seasonal affective disorder. I've never been officially diagnosed with it. I don't know if there is a way to kind of officially diagnose it, to be honest, apart from just like listening to someone and go, yeah, that sounds like you have SAD. Like, I don't know if there's like a test a doctor can do. But like, I just know it's just one of those things where when it's not very sunny, like during the daytime, I will just feel sort of kind of crummy and off and not good. Like, you just sort of feel like the chemicals are not as good. You just feel more negative and less energetic, and like you just don't feel as good, and it's not good. And I know it's weird because it's like, well, you lived in England. England is like a really dark, like miserable place. How did it take you like until like adulthood to realize that you like had this thing where you had like a lack of sunshine? And an interesting thing about it, honestly, is so like one interesting thing about I don't know about America in general, but about like LA compared to England. When you compare like LA and England, not only does LA like have more sunshine, like obviously, but like it's not just that LA has more sunshine, but that it also has more variance. Like there's more variance in the weather across the span of a day. And what I mean by that is like if you look at like an English weather forecast for a day, like the high temperature and the low temperature will be quite close to one another. Like there's a consistency to how rubbish the weather is in England. You don't really get a day where it's like cloudy and cold in the morning, but then warm and sunny in the afternoon. You know, like you just don't really get that kind of variance. Whereas in LA, that's kind of the norm. Like if we get rain here, it can be like bright, sunny, and warm hours later, like or like an hour or two later. Like it's pretty wild stuff. And so it is just this weird thing. So basically, I say that because in England, if you get like a cloudy, gloomy day, it will be like kind of cloudy and gloomy and cold like all day. And if you do get like some better weather soon, you kind of like build up to it more incrementally. So like say the next day it will be a bit warmer and a bit less cloudy, and then it will be a bit warmer and a bit less cloudier than that. And so you get this like gradual creep up, but you don't really get like, oh wow, it was like so hot earlier and now it's so cold. Like that's not really a thing in England. Again, it's just the crud weather is just more consistently crud. And the good weather is kind of, I don't know, more consistently good in a way. Whereas in LA, you can look at the temperature and it's like, wow, like that's like a really low temperature, but then that's a really high temperature, and it'll all happen in the span of a day. So you can sort of feel those highs and lows of like having sunshine and not having sunshine, like in the same day. So like in England, I don't know, like in England, I think I always just thought that like, well, it's cold, it's dark, it's miserable, like just that's why you feel bad. You know, like the cold and the dark and stuff like that is kind of associated with like being at school. Like generally when it's cold and dark in England, that's like during school time, you know, like September, October, November, December, January, February, like you're at school, you know. Whereas when it's sunny and it's bright, that's like during the summer months when you've got like summer holiday. So, you know, like it was only really once, say, I don't know, I was spending like, say, all day, every day at home, every day, you know, once you're like an adult kind of thing, and you're kind of experiencing different weathers. And, oh, hang on, outbreaks? Wait, are there, like, new outbreaks? What the heck? Why are there, like, outbreaks? Hang on. Oh, the outbreaks have changed. I don't know why the outbreaks have changed. Maybe we could do a shiny hunt if there's any good Pokemon that have spawned. But I doubt there are. Oinkologne, Haunter. No, we've got all them. Arrokuda, Meowth. I got a shiny Meowth literally the other day, and I already have one. Dratini, like I have Dratini. I have Larvesta. We got like a Larvesta on stream, I believe. Wooper. I've got Wooper though. They had a community day for it. Plus, I also just like got one. Is Wooper the only one? Oh, and Garcy, and I have the Garcy line. Okay. Okay. I don't know why my outbreaks have changed. Because it's like the middle of the day, but I'll accept it. Okay, right. Vileplume, Gloom. Oh, chat. Could we do, like, leaves, green hearts, and sparkles, please? If we do emojis, that will get us the glooms that we seek. And not the grimers. So we want green, because we want the green shiny with the green heart and the plants and stuff. But yeah, but in England you get less of a variance, so it was sort of a mixture of like, between finally getting to have a bit more consistency and like, you know, experiencing my home during the cold and the darkness, and then experiencing my home in like the warmth and the sunlight, and getting to go to America and stuff like that, I kind of realized just something about not having sunlight, like the chemicals in my body like don't pump as well or something. Like you just feel, again, I know this sounds weird, but you just like chemically feel off. I don't really think of myself as like a chemical being. I think of myself as like a spiritual being, but like days where it's like really miserable and it's just gray like all day, you just feel that like your body isn't working as it's supposed to or something, is like the best way I can explain it. And that just something isn't pumping out in the correct proportion or quantity. So yeah, so it's a bit of a funny odd thing. But one of the things you can do is like light therapy, where you can buy like these little lights and you sort of sit in front of them for like half an hour after you've like woken up or something like that. And they're supposed to help, and so I'm gonna see if it helps. And obviously now it's like the bad weather is, so it was supposed to come like today, but then it's been delayed till like next Thursday or something, which sucks. So ironically, we're probably gonna get like a load of good weather now, and we're probably not gonna have any more bad weather. But nevertheless, I have it. I'm gonna use it, and I'm actually gonna try and use it like every day, good weather or bad. I don't care if it's like sunny outside. I am going to start my day, like, sitting in front of a light for half an hour from now on. And that is going to be what I do for the next few months, and I'm going to see if it helps me or not. Dag nabbit, and I'll let you guys know if it does. But yeah, but this recent bout of rain, where, yeah, I was just kind of housebound for a few days. And I don't even like going outside. It's not even about going outside. I am a total introvert, but, like, to the point where I'm a hermit. But on sunny days, I am fine being inside on sunny days, but like, it just, when it's like gray and gloomy, like indoors, and like your house is dark and like everything's just like so dark, like there's just something about when it's supposed to be bright and light, like be it in your home or whatever, but like your home is just like gloomy and gray. Something about that just really, like, does my head in. And, like, I hate having lights on during the day. Like, that doesn't, like, help. Like ceiling lights. They don't help. Like, it just, like, your house looks all, like, yellow. Instead, like, if your house is bright and sunny, all the walls and everything will have, like, a nice white light. They'll be bathed in, like, a nice white light. But when you're turning on, like, the lights in the middle of the day, everything just kind of has, like, a yellow, like an ugly yellow glow to it, which is just like, oh, shiny. Hey, thank you for the emojis. Thank you for the emojis. 97.1. Yes. All right. Gloom, 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 baby. So, but that's like, but also one thing as well, is like, one other thing as well, though, is like, I'm perfectly fine at nighttime. You know, like if you sort of say like, oh, so do you like struggle at nighttime? It's like, no, because at nighttime it's like it's supposed to be dark. You know, like, and it's like, and like nighttime darkness is different than middle of the day gloominess, right? Like you can still see in your house and stuff, but like, and having a light on at night is fine as well, because like it's pitch black. Like, there's a difference between pitch black and having lights on when it's pitch black versus it being kind of gloomy, like your house kind of being like dull and grey, and like having a light on when your house is gloomy and grey. Like, they're very different, and like whatever those differences are, it really does just like mess with the chemicals in my head, and yeah, just don't like it. Not fun. I don't recommend it. And yeah, so that sucks, and that's a thing. But oh, so chat, because those emojis worked so well. So the emojis worked, and they worked well, but they also worked a little too well. And what this means is now we have used up all the emoji luck. So I actually need you, all of you who posted emojis, I now need you to post all those emojis again. All those ones that you just did a minute ago that worked. The leaves, the green hearts, the sparkles. I actually need you to do them once more. So that we can get this final oddish or gloom or whatever we're catching here at Beau Video Games. And then we'll be good. So I think because we did just get that oddish, so this definitely will be our final shiny hunt. So we'll go for the next like 17 minutes or whatever, but then we will call that it for today, because I do need to get food, and yeah, I need to get food, and I kind of want to like just relax, and then I'll be ready to like play Persona later and stuff, and it's all very exciting. But thank you for those emojis for getting me that gloom. Hopefully now we can get a second one. It would be good if we could get gloom, because I don't... This is like the last poison type I need. I don't need Muck and Grimer, Alolan or Cantonian. I just need a... I tell you what would be good. If we actually just got a whole Vileplume, like one of those Vileplumes that we see periodically, if one of those was green, that would be absolutely incredible. I'm not saying only, like, I'm happy with, like, another Oddish or another Gloom. It does not matter. But, man, if we actually did get, like, a shiny Vileplume, that would just be so funny. So funny. Okay. Let's see. But, again, I am worried we're going to get, like, a load of Grimers now. But, so that's why I need, like, you know, the leaves and the hearts and not, like, piles of sludge in the chat. So, well, that's a Vileplume, but it's not a shiny Vileplume. You know Lacey's secret. What is it? What is her secret? Oh, dang it, for the love of Nelly. Right, let me just get rid of that. One random thing that I did this week was I did actually tweet I tweeted at the director of the Xenoblade games and the studio that recorded them, and I just sort of said, you know, like, hey, I know that, like, recording massive video games is a massive and difficult thing, but, like, you know, I've been playing the games, and congratulations on them, because there are, like, so many great performances, they sound so good, and I know how hard that must have been, but, like, just well done and congratulations on, like, you know, pulling off such an excellently directed and produced project. And it was nice, actually. They both replied to me, which is very sweet and lovely of them. So the studio was, like, Liquid Violet, and the director was Jimmy Livingston, and they both replied, which is really cool. Because, you know, as a gamer and as a voice actor, you know, I respect things and appreciate and know, you know, the difficulty and the stuff that, you know, and I've recorded a couple of sort of quite big games myself where they're like all kinds of different options. It's like, okay, well, okay, here's where if you're talking to this character, you know, like the Chongyun Hangout, you know, okay, well, this is what happens if like the kids, you know, if you're making this popsicle for the kids, and here's what's happening if you're making this popsicle for the kids, and here's what's happened if you're making this popsicle for the kids, and, you know. So I know the game, like literally and figuratively, Nintendo fan and voice actor fan. So I know how this works, and I know when, you know, when a good job has taken place. So I don't know how to quite phrase this, but you know what I mean. Like, I respect. I have huge respect for all of them. So, okay. Oh, come on. Just one more. I know, ironically, sort of almost... Ironically, this sort of... I would probably end up calling this, like, an okay or a not great shiny hunt. Like, whether we get, like, this next Gloom or not, I would call this like an okay or a, you know, sort of not great. Like, yeah, it wasn't the best shiny hunt today or whatever. But the irony is, if we do get this other Oddish and we do complete our Vileplume line, ironically, this will actually be quite a good shiny hunt. Like, you know, if I'm posting like here are pictures of 6 shinies, like, this was okay. Like, it's like, no, like, you know, people will be like, that's actually quite a good hunt. Like, if we got 6 shinies, but it's like 2 of them are Execute, 1 of them is, I think, did we get some other repeat Pokemon or something? I can't remember, but still. Let's see what we got here. Let's run around. Okay, Oricorio, that's not helpful. Right, okay, that's lots of Grimers. We don't, and Muk. We don't really want Grimers and Muks. We want Oddishes and Glooms. Okay, there seem to be loads of Grimers here. I am concerned that Oddish does not spawn here. As such, I'm going to go back and find a place where they start spawning. Okay, that's still a Grimer. That's an Oddish. It's not a shiny Oddish, but it's an Oddish. Okay, sorry. I realized that was a bit too excited. Okay, you're an Oddish. Hang on, we're gonna sprint. Okay, Grimer, Gloom, still more Glooms. I won't just say Glooms for the remaining 10 minutes of the stream. Gloom, because I'm gonna say Oddish, Gloom, Vileplume. That's kind of nifty. It's not shiny though. Right, Oddish, Muk. Oh no, I'm yawning. No, no, the stream isn't boring, I promise. Okay. Okay, we're getting lots of Oddishes and Glooms here. Oh, there's that Toucannon that I always bump into. I guess that one must just be like a fixed spawn, which is why we keep seeing like a Toucannon whenever we do like a shiny hunt that's not for flying or normal types. Let's see, Oddish. No, you're not shiny. You're not shiny anymore. Okay. Right, Sarah Leach, what are you doing? He's gone. He's gone. Okay, I'm just gonna scratch my ear because my ear itches like crazy. Okay, right, you're an Oddish. You're an Oddish. You're an Oddish. You're a Grimer. Oddish. Vileplume. Okay, we'll go fast again. And then Oddish. Oddish. Sorry, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do the Oddish. Gloom. Oddish. Gloom. Oddish. We're not gonna do that. We won't do that. Oh, sorry, that Oddish was lying down then. I thought that was like a shiny Grimer or something because I couldn't see the little leaf on its head. So it just looked really different than it normally does. And, yeah. Okay. Right, let's see what we got here. Grime and Vileplume. Oddish, Muck. Oddish. Muck and Grimer. Oh no, now I'm yawning. But that's actually more because I'm hungry than tired, because I'm not actually that tired. Okay. Right. No, get out of it, Crydon. So, chat. Next week, because hang on, we've got 9 minutes left. So let's talk about next week. So next week we will do more shiny hunting. But what shinies shall we hunt? Good question, chat. So I think what we'll do next week is, because I think now, for anyone who's like able to look at the thumbnail or whatever, have we gotten like one of everything on the thumbnail now? Now some of you may say, oh, we haven't caught a Smeargle, but I caught Smeargle this week off stream. So I can't remember what my thumbnails look like. I can maybe bring up a picture in a second. In fact, hang on, let me just do that. Because we know what Oddish Gloom looks like. I don't need to be looking at the Gloom. Let me look at my... Yeah, let me look at my... Here we go. Photo. Collage. Okay. So yeah, so Picky Peck. We actually got a Picky Peck on stream, and that was the one I needed. That was super lucky. Smeargle, I got the other day, and it's like, well, you only need one of them, like, you don't need two of them, so, you know, there's no point. And then, who do we have next? Horsey. Okay, so we did get a Seadra on stream. We haven't got Horsey, but, like, we did get one of that evolutionary family, right? Oh, that's a Grimer. Oh, that's an Oddish. Okay, no, I didn't mean to run so close to the biome. But, like, we've got one from that family, right? And the thing about... Hang on. The thing about Horsey as well is Horsey's, like, in the water. And if you're doing a water-type sandwich in the water looking for a water-type Pokemon... That's not really an efficient way to sandwich hunt. You're just going to get a bajillion shinies that aren't Horsey. And you're barely even going to see any Horsey. You might get lucky, and in the Terranium, there aren't a whole load of different Pokemon in the water. Like, you will still see a lot of Horseys, but, like, it's not going to be a good one to hunt for. The way to get Horsey is going to be if I see an outbreak. Like, that's going to be how I get a Horsey. But, like, Horsey, we've got Cottony. We now have Cottony and Whimsicott, right? Like, we have the full family now. So that's, like, really cool. And then Esper. We did get, like, an Esper or a Meowstic on stream. I can't remember which one. I think we got Esper, right? Now, I do technically still need another Esper, but it needs to be of a specific gender, and that might be, like, harder to do, and might be a bit... It's just a bit of a waste of sandwich ingredients if we, like, end up catching a load of, like, Esper that are, like, the wrong gender or something, you know? So, yeah, and if it's, like, the only, like, Psychic I really kind of need, then, you know, is it worth it in that case, or whatever? Like, you get the idea. And then... Malamar. I do now have Malamar. I evolved Malamar this week. I sort of talked about how I can't evolve it on stream because I actually need to physically turn my Switch upside down. I did take a picture of me evolving my Inkay. But yeah, I need to... but yeah, so I sort of did that. So I put my Inkay, like, in the game, and then I evolved it. Oh, hang on. That's shiny! Yes! Yes! All right. I know I should have saved first, but I believe. There we go. I actually, we did a poison sandwich, didn't we? Let me just check all the different poison types in this game. I think I literally have every poison type. So we'll evolve this Oddish in a second. But let me see. I can't believe we actually did it. So hold on. Let me let me just... I'm gonna... so forgive me for taking an extra couple of minutes here, but let's just click on Poison on Cerebi. So, okay. So there's, like, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. Now, admittedly, I don't have, like, native Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. Like, I have them on from, like, Pokemon Go or whatever, so it's like, oh, you could get ones from, like, actual Pokemon games or whatever, but, like, I don't care. We've got Ekans and Arbok, we did that for Kitakami. We now have the full Oddish family. Oh my gosh. Venonat and Venomoth I have the full Bellsprout family, we may have even done some of that on stream. I have the full Tentacool family. I got a shiny Shadow Tentacool in Pokemon Go literally like a week ago or so. But I already had Tentacool and Tentacruel because of Legends Arceus. Slowbro, which is the Galarian Slowbro, I have because of Pokemon Go Community Day. Grimer and Muck, I have both Alolan and Cantonian, so I don't need to, or at least I'm very sure I have all them, so I don't need any more of them. Maybe I should, I'll double check that in a sec though. Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, got all of them, as we said at the beginning of the stream. Coughing and Wheezing, got both of them. I've got Galarian Wheezing shiny. Like, don't even need Galarian shiny. Spinarak and Ariados, we caught so many shiny Spinarak on stream. Wooper and Clodsire, got both of them. Galarian Slowking, again, the Community Day. Quillfish, both kinds, I've got. Like the Hisuian because of Legends Arceus, but then Classic because of this game. Hisuian Sneasel, I have shiny off because of Arceus. Gulpin and Swalot, we got because they're Violet exclusives, and we did the Violet exclusive streams. Like, we're good on Violet exclusives now. Survivor I've got because of Pokemon Go. I got one randomly. Stunky and Skuntank because Skuntank because of Legends Arceus. Croagunk and Toxicroak because of Legends Arceus. I don't actually have an Arceus, ironically, because that's listed here. Fungus and Amoongus I have. Skrelp and Dragalge I have. Toxapex and Marini I have because of like this game. Salandit and Salazzle. You guys, if you guys never saw my video on Salazzle, go my YouTube short on Salazzle, go watch that one. Toxel and Toxtricity. Okay, Toxel and Toxtricity is a funny one because I don't have the I have like one of the forms, but I don't have both of the forms. So we could spend 5 minutes hunting for one of them, perhaps. But like, so then Eternatus. I have a shiny Eternatus, incredibly, because there was a code. Sneasler we have. Overquill we have. Shroodle and Grafaiai. I got both of those this week on my off-screen stuff. Varoom and Revavroom. They're metallic. The metallic lighting sucks for shiny hunting. So I did them off stream and off screen this week, and I got both of them. Glimmet and Glamora were some of the earliest ones I got in this game. Clodsire, I already said I got because of Community Day and kind of just because of this game. Iron Moth we did on stream, and then Okidogi, Monkey Dory, Pheasantipede, and Pecharunt aren't available as shiny. So literally, I think we basically literally just established, like, let's try go get a Toxtricity or something. Like, maybe. I think I actually do know a place to look for them. We could go for that Skrelp patch and try and get a Skrelp as well, but yeah. So when I say I don't have like any shinies left, I don't just mean that one's kind of awkward, or well, I've got one of those but I don't have like the other form of it or whatever. It's like no. Like, I just genuinely like have these Pokemon already. Right, so Toxtricity. Actually, no, we don't want to. Oh, hopefully they appear at night or something. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna. Yes. Okay. Let's see if we can get a Toxtricity, I guess. But yeah, these all seem to be... Oh no, you're like the low amp. You're the low form. Hang on, let me just also get Toxtricity up on my phone. I just want to... They're like red, though. Surely I know. Yeah, they're red. So I think I have like the amped up form, but not the like amped down form. I don't know what the other one's called. But so I have like the yellow one, but I don't have the blue one. So I do technically need a blue one. But I figure I could get one if I'm ever doing like... I think there's like still some electric Pokemon that I might need. And I could always hunt for one whilst doing an electric sandwich. But let's see if we can get... So chat, do like electric lizard and like a pink heart or something. Electric lizards and pink hearts. That's what I need from the emojis right now. Get them in quick because we only have 3 minutes. And then I will finish up the stream, and that's all we'll do for today. And I'll let you know how the mood therapy light goes if I actually do get it on Thursday. And I'll let you know how Persona goes on social media. And maybe someday I'll tweet all those Xenoblade 3 jokes. But I also might not. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Right. Are there any down here? Oh, okay. This is a good spot to hunt for Toxtricity. The spot to hunt for Toxel is also a good place to hunt for it, but if you just want Toxtricity specifically, this seems to be a good place. I'll concede that. Sorry, these purples kind of look a bit red to me, and I'm just freaking out that I like can't see because like they're they look like two different shades of purple, and maybe it's just because of the yellow and the blue. But oh, I got excited there. I saw pink, but it was Medicham. So, okay. Oh, and electric guitars. Yes, electric guitars. That's a good idea as well, Tenchi. So, yes. Lizards, pink hearts, electric lightning bolts, sparkles. So, lizards, electric guitars, thunderbolts, sparkles. Were those the four things? That sounds about right. I can't remember if there was a fifth. Yeah, like chameleons, thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. Me. Oh, me. Oh, me. Oh, me. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Right, there was one there, but that wasn't shiny. Where have all the shinies gone? Come on, this would be so funny if we were able to get this. If we were able to milk 3 minutes of a sandwich. No, don't sprint, because otherwise that Hariyama's will come in. Right, come on. Where have all the shinies gone? Sorry, but either sing it properly when you're not congested, or don't sing it at all. Okay, right. See, I need one of these ones, the low form, the blue ones. So I'm kind of looking at them a little bit more closely. Because I have the amped form, which is like the yellow one. But I need the... what are they called without me looking it up? There's like the amped form and the unamped form, or the downer form, or whatever. Like the amped form is me in sunlight, and the de-amped form is me in rainy, cloudy days. Right. Oop. Okay. Nice. Nice. There we go. Okay. But yeah, if I sprint, I fear it will just spawn in like a load of Makuhita and stuff. So I do need to do this kind of slowly, which I know sucks, but that's the game. Pokémon Scarlet and Violet on Nintendo Switch. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh no, Honchkrows. Uh-oh. Is that 3 minutes? Lycanroc. No, that's 3 minutes, isn't it? Oh, no. No. Okay. Well, guys, gals, non-binary pals, that seems to be it for our shiny hunt today. Before we go, remember to like and subscribe. For the love of Nelly, like and subscribe. But no, before we go, let me just say what my plan was for next week, because I realise I end up getting distracted. And we'll evolve that Oddish as well. We'll evolve Oddish. But so I was thinking, we're really running out of shinies to hunt. And I thought what could be good is we haven't got... there are like... So, oh, we were looking at the thumbnail, weren't we, right? I was looking at the thumbnail. So if I look at the thumbnail... Right, Malamar, we got Dupida and Araquanid. We got Tyrogue, we completed the whole Hitmon set. I got my other Galvantula this week, like I got a second Joltik and I evolved it into Galvantula. Zebstrika, I need to do all the coaching stuff to do that, so I can just do that, like, whenever. We got Cranidos, and now we've got Vileplume. And then also Excadrill as well, we got Excadrill last week. So... that then leaves, it's like, well, yeah, no, well, hang on, there are like 3 things you're not including from your thumbnail. It's like, precisely. The 3 Pokemon that I have not included from my thumbnail are the Galarian starters. We do not have a... we have not gotten a shiny Grookey on stream. I got one, like, off stream a few weeks ago. But we have not got on stream... a shiny Grookey, despite trying like twice. We never got shiny Scorbunny, and we never got shiny Sobble. And I wonder if next week, maybe like next week could be like our final shiny hunt, and we try and go for all these, because these are going to appear in Pokemon Go someday, but I had them in the thumbnail. Maybe we could hunt for these, and maybe we could hunt for 1 or 2 of the more obscure things I've got left. If we have a really good shiny hunt, then maybe... we could try and get one of each of those. Would that sound good? Oh, for the love of Nelly, audio looping. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. So, I don't know how long that's been audio looping for. I do apologize if you didn't hear anything. Were you able to hear anything? Is it just... whatever. Basically, we're going to hunt for the Galarian starters next week. Long story short. That's what we'll do next week, okay? And then that'll probably be it, because we got everything else on the thumbnails, okay? And then... oh, this one's higher level. Okay, yeah, you'll be perfect for Vileplume. So, let's evolve this Oddish into a Vileplume. And then... it's been since Toxtricity! Oh, for the love of... okay, so you can hear me, it's just the music loops. Okay, good. But still, that's annoying. Right, so anyway, Bark, hang on. It's a shame. We were actually already at the stone that we needed. We were, like, pretty much at the leaf stone, weren't we? So, right, leaf stone. I should have saved my game, because I'm winging it. Like, what if I accidentally hit a sunstone? Oh well. So Vileplume. Nice. Hang on, I'm just gonna have more water. There we go, good stuff. Right, hang on, we're gonna you gotta time it. You gotta time the screenshot press with hang on. Like that kind of thing. There we go. So let's put Vileplume back in the box, where it will now stay for all eternity. Right, Diglett dig, Diglett dig. Okay, so we've got the Diglett, because we've got Dog Trio, so we don't need to evolve that. We got Whimsicott, because we got Cottony before. We got Execute and Execute. We got the Gloom, and we got Vileplume. There we go. That's I think it blinked the first time. So there we go. So that actually ended up being pretty alright. And given we're going at like 3.5 hours instead of 4, to get 4 shinies, that's pretty good. And I mean, these were quite easy shinies, so we shouldn't have really had any issues, really. But still, we got them. We got what we needed, just what I needed, to quote Super Mario. So next week we'll try and go for Grookey, we'll try and go for Scorbunny, we'll try and go for Sobble, and then that may actually be it for our shiny hunting. Maybe we'll go for Skarmory again. Maybe we'll go for anything that we've tried where we've like not gotten them before. But let's just check. Let me just check my list very, very quickly. Okay, we'll say 50 bajillion times because that's what we do here at Beau Video Games. And then, because also I now need to like tidy up my spreadsheet, because it's like we don't need cottony or oddish, so I can just go clear tile. Like, oh, look at that, oh my gosh, very exciting. And then I can move these two up. Move up, you two. Okay, I can do this off screen, but like, right, you two go there, and then I can delete row. Oh my gosh, this is like just, oh my gosh, being able to delete row on your spreadsheet is just the most satisfying thing ever. And whoa, yeah, poison. So that's like, I have no poison types left now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How exciting. How exciting. In a boring way. But look, chat, let me just read you what I need, right? So technically, I need Litten and Poplio, but they're gonna come to Pokemon Go this year. Like we're probably gonna get Litten Community Day announced very soon, like in the next few weeks or whatever. Because we know the dates for the next Community Days, we just don't know what the Pokemon are. So that's thing number one. So like Litten, we're gonna get soon, and Poplio, we're gonna get a few months after that, because we've already had Rowlet Community Day. So although I do need those, it's not really worth wasting sandwich ingredients on. You know what I mean? But then, so we need like Grookey and Scorbunny and Sobble, although those will eventually come to Pokemon Go as well. But again, you know what I mean. I do need Horsey for water. I do need 2 more of them. Like I need like Kingdra and Horsey. But again, that's just, I'll just need to wait for like an outbreak, or that may be an awkward one where you can only spawn like 3 at a time or something in a puddle. It's not really worth doing on stream. Or only if we like run out of other Pokemon to get. Psychics, I got Oricorio and Esper, but again, that's kind of just not really worth doing. Because again, it's like Esper's just to get like an extra one, and same with Oricorio. Rock, I have no rock types. Flying, I do need like 2 of the Squawkabillies, as well as the aforementioned extra Oricorio and Skarmory. But again, Squawkabilly is just like extra forms of it, and Oricorio too. Skarmory is the one where it's like, okay, that is new, I don't have one of those. So Skarmory is like the only flying type that I need, that I like need, and then Steel, it's just the only one. And then we've got Fighting, Ground, I've like are completed. For Electric, I need Blitzel. Maybe we could try and get that other Blitzel, and then we could like try and go for Toxtricity as well, possibly. That is a thing we could do. If we had a good hunt next week, we could totally go for Blitzel again to see if we could get one more. Because, if I didn't have to do the coaching thing, that'd kind of be nice. But Fighting and Ground are done. For Ghost, I need like the perfect form of Poltergeist. Or the antique one, and then Oricorio, as mentioned, because Oricorio can be loads of different types. Dragon, I'm done. Normal types, I need Kamala, Squawkabilly, and Deerling, but again, the Squawkabilly is kind of like extra forms, so I do need, and same for the Deerling as well, to be honest. Like I just need like spring and winter or whatever. So Kamala is the only normal type. It's a bit of an awkward one to get. That one I might just have to wait for outbreaks or like a better game to come out to hunt Kamala in. For Poison, I'm done. For Bug, I'm done. For Ice, I'm done. Of course, I've been done with Ice for ages. But for Fairy, I need Comfey, which I'll do off screen. And then also the other one I need is Floette. I need the white form of Floette, which you can get in Area 0. So I just need to do that at some point. But that's just been on my list for a while, and I wasn't sure where to hunt for them immediately, but they'll be really easy to get. And then the only other one that I haven't said out loud, and this is one that I may save for a special stream or something, just because it will be a tough one, is Zorua, the classic Unnovan Zorua. I have Shiny Zoroark, I have Zorua and Zoroark as Hisuian, or in Hisuian form, but I don't have your bog standard Unnovan Zorua. It will be a tough one to shiny hunt because Zoroas don't look like Zoroas. So it will be slow going, but that could be a fun one. So yeah. So if you're enjoying the stream, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thank you, Nightbot. And thank you for joining me today. I hope today was okay. I know at points it was a bit boring because all the shiny stuff kind of came in at the end, didn't it? So yeah, that kind of didn't. So I'm sorry that during the middle that was a bit of like, oh, he's not even getting any shinies kind of thing. But by the end, we kind of made up for it, didn't we? So that's good. That's something at least. So thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for your love and support. Hopefully the activity thing will be working next week, and I can actually like see if people do Wonga and stuff like that. And yeah, but have a really wonderful week. Thank you again for joining me on a weekend. Maybe next week will be the last one, and then we'll do Luigi or whatever. Let me know what games you're interested in me playing, as long as you know I definitely have them. Like, if you liked the sound of the Donkey Kong games, let me know about that. Let me know about Earthbound. Let me know about Luigi's Mansion 3. I think maybe we should do Luigi's Mansion 3. But yeah. Right, my screen has just gone dark, so I am going to end the stream now. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, mods, for all your support as well. And I will see you guys around. Bye-bye.